hanging from a thread till you dead. Cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale of fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep part. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving.
We are back. Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming back. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. You hit it on the last one. Now you got to hit it on this one. Salute to you. I appreciate y'all coming back. Need a little bathroom break. Need a little snacky snack. Need a little reboot. And we should be good business, man. Let's get in where we fit in, all right? Salute.
Oye, ¿y el Rocha? ¿Y el Rocha? Bueno, ¿y el Rocha?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Have y'all heard me at all through any of this? Or did I just hit that accidentally? I might have hit it accidentally. Thank you. Tap the like button. Salute, y'all. All right, we're going to get back into it. I think I'm back, though, no? I think I'm back. Shout out Pebs on the check-in. Salute, Pebs. Pebs, happy belated birthday, Pebs. Salute to you. All right, I'm back. I think I'm back. I'm back. He said, yeah, I know, Jonathan. It's cool, bro. Big June, your day will come. Be like, all right, you're an Avenger now. Salutes. All right, boom. All right, I think we're back. Let's get back to the sister. I think she's getting cross-examined now. She got to answer to, remember, she was the one that called CPS. Now she got to answer to what the defense has got to say. But she did cop to it. She also said, though, her brother was the type of person to heed his advice. And she called CPS either way. All right, we have 50% with the likes, 14 concurrent viewers, 7 likes. Hit the like button. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's get it.
Watching over Benji, do you recall?
After Jenny? I'm sorry.
Yeah, after Benji comes to live with Brandon, right? He becomes a custodial parent. From that point, do you remember how much time passes before you have Benji?
I don't remember.
Okay, let me ask you. You said that you got pregnant and you went on bed rest.
Yes.
Do you remember that date?
It was in between. I want to say maybe in February
Of
2021.
okay, February 2021 is when you stopped watching Benji.
Yes.
Okay. And you only watched him for 6 months prior to that.
Yes.
So 6 months. August of 2020 is when you approximately started watching him. Because I'm backing it up.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm not sure on the dates.
Well, I'm just roughly speaking. You're saying that, so February 2021 is the last time you watched him.
Yes.
And then 6 months behind that, 2 months, February, January is 2, and then 4 months from 12 is 8, right? So August. Does that sound about right? Or do you think it was less than 6 months?
This lady, you see what this lady's doing to her? How she got her all, I can't do the math. You know what I'm saying? She got her flustered. That's what she's trying to do to the jury.
No, I believe it was about 6 months that I watched him.
Okay. All right. So you talked about needing Benji, like suggesting that Benji go to the doctor once before, 2 times. You listed 2 times, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the first time you say was when you were watching Benji.
Yes.
Okay. And were there complications? What was it that he needed to go to the doctor for?
His one of the reasons I said that was because he wouldn't get full after eating. He would want to eat like if he hadn't eaten before, and I didn't find that to be normal. And knowing where he had come from, I felt that he needed to get seen by a doctor.
Now, let me ask you. So you say where did he come from? Had Benji been, he was living with a biological mother prior to 2019?
Yes.
January 2019? And in regards to that, Brandon did not have access to Benjamin at that time?
No.
Okay. So something happened at biological mother's house that had nothing to do with Brandon, correct?
Correct.
And is that why Benjamin came to live with Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I say Brandon didn't have anything to do with Benji at that time, it was because the biological mother was keeping the kids from Brandon, correct?
Yes.
So he wasn't able to see them.
Correct.
It wasn't because he didn't want to see them, correct?
Correct.
So now, you just mentioned that you did not have any personal knowledge of what Benji was doing day to day in June of 2021, correct?
Correct.
Or July of 2021.
Correct.
And the only knowledge you have is from what Brandon self-disclosed to you.
Yes.
And would you agree with me that he wasn't hiding anything from you?
No, he wasn't hiding anything.
And he was freely giving you the picture?
Yes.
And so, and then he was having a conversation with you about his child that he's concerned about.
Yes.
And I apologize, going back to that doctor's visit, were there complications back in August of 2020 to February of 2021 getting in to see a doctor?
Yes.
Okay, and why?
The biological.
Judge, I'm going to object to lack of personal knowledge on this.
If you can establish how she knows the source, please.
Are you aware personally of why, did you try to take Benji to the doctor?
I did.
Okay, and even, did you have complications taking Benji to the doctor?
I did.
And why?
My children's care provider let me know that I am not allowed to take Benji unless I have a letter signed by the mother giving me permission to take Benjamin to get seen.
And they wouldn't even take a letter from.
So she tried to take him
No.
to the doctor.
Because-
That's another one for her. Another point for her. She seems oblivious and loopy, but she took Shorty to the. She tried to take Shorty to the doctor.
He is not listed as the actual parent by law. They were not married.
No, they're not married.
Okay, and so they did not find it sufficient for Brandon just to say he's the father of Benji.
Correct.
I apologize, I spoke over you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, so the only one they would listen to was Erica Flores,
Yes.
and that's the name of Benji's biological mother.
Yes.
And y'all could get a hold of her?
No, she was very hard to find. She was,
Judge, I'm anticipating the response is about the urgent here, sir.
let me stop you there, because you answered my question. So you weren't able to get a hold of her, and so, but ultimately, would you agree with me that Brandon does wind up taking Benji to the doctor and, he takes him to an ER doctor?
yes,
Okay. Now, going forward to, do y'all have diabetes in your family?
yes,
Do you have diabetes?
Yes.
What kind of diabetes do you have?
I believe it was type 2.
Type
It's
2?
type 2.
Or is it?
It was, I'm so sorry, it was, I don't know if it was type 1 or type 2, but it was during my pregnancy and then after it stayed.
All right, so you don't know if it was type 1 or type 2?
Correct.
Did you specify previously that it was type 1?
I might have.
Okay. Now, how about in regards to the rest of your family? Who else in your family has diabetes?
My mother, my grandmother, and I believe both.
You know, all of that history of diabetes and you don't know what kind you're talking about?
My sisters.
Okay, and do you know if they have type 1 or type 2?
I don't know.
Come on, lady.
Mark has 4.5. Do you know his birthday?
Tomorrow, I believe it is.
Oh, okay. So, January, so he's born, his birthday, 4.5, 21. He would have been, would you agree with me, 4.5? Do you know, so he's born, his birthday, do you know his birthday?
Tomorrow, I believe it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tomorrow's his birthday. That lady, that shit hit her. She didn't see that one coming.
So, September 28th, 2016. And so if we go to February of 2021, I believe that's just about a little less than it's like a little less than 4.5, right? Okay, so backing up to, let's see. So he would have been 4 years old when you had, I think we're off on dates. Because, did you say you had him when he was...
Listen, she's trying to drown them in so much slick talk. They're facts. She's trying to drag them down and bog them down in so much that she fools herself and confuses herself sometimes. And sometimes maybe plays the pendeja and she's, you know, like right now, she probably know exactly what she's talking about. But she's just bogging this shit down. Salutes Albert Flores on the check-in.
2 years old?
It was 2 or about to be 2.
Bro, we know how old she
Okay.
is.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I wrote it down wrong, so I want to be very clear. So, so we can write the dates down.
I had to have been in 2019 because
So you talk.
That's all
That was
she's
it.
doing to the point where she trips herself up. You pendeja.
in the year 2021. I had 2 children. So when I'm trying to think with my pregnancies, I was pregnant in 2019.
And how you gonna ask a woman when a woman with 10 kids when she was pregnant? She's like, I said, yo, one of those days at one of those times during one of those months and one of those years during one of those decades, man. Fuck, she know.
I was. Oh gosh, I'm getting myself confused.
Yeah, everybody's confused. Everybody's drowning in their pregnancies and shit.
Okay, let's go this direction. You know that you did not watch Benjamin when he was 3 or 4, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and if Benji doesn't even get to Brandon until January 2019, then it could only have been from the time period starting in January 2019 to when he turns 3 would have, when he turns 4, excuse me. He's born in September, right?
Right.
And that would have been 2020. So, I mean, at this point, he has not turned. No, I'm sorry. Okay, 2019. Oh my gosh. That's in between here. Is that somewhere that's going to make
It's a
it
shit show.
budget, right, from January 2019?
She bogged them down with fucking calculus. She's doing calculus and shit. Jonathan said 10 kids, coño. All her life she's been pregnant. That's funny. Oh shit. That's funny. 10 kids, coño.
Until he passes on August 2021. Okay. And during the time that Brandon had him, did you get to see him even if you weren't watching him, or is the last time that you saw him when you watched him?
I saw him one more time. After I was done watching him, I saw him one more time.
When did you see him?
It was in February, I believe the year 2021.
Okay, and when you saw him, did he look like he had healthy weight?
Yes, he looked a little taller, stretched out, but yeah.
And has Benji always been a small kid?
Yes.
Always been a skinny kid?
Yes.
I pass the witness.
So, you have 10 children. Who's responsible for getting medical care for your 10 children?
I am.
And if there's something where the insurance is saying, hey, we need some additional documentation, who would be responsible for getting it?
Myself, the mother.
Nothing further.
May this witness be excused?
Yes.
Ms. Sanchez, thank you very much. You are excused. The rule has been invoked, which means you may not discuss your testimony with anybody but these attorneys, okay? Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Do you have one more to close out the day, or?
I do.
Okay, well, let's try it.
Is she pending recall?
No, she's released.
We're gonna swear her in, and then
And
we're
just for the
gonna take
record-
a break.
Sorry, that's fine. Just have it clear and slowly, and do not speak over anyone. Thank you very much.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Amy. What is your last name?
My maiden name is Flores, and my married name is Cepeda.
Is what?
Cepeda.
Cervera. Are you related to Benjamin Cervera?
Yes.
How so?
I am his aunt on the maternal side.
Okay.
Oh shit, his mother's sister.
So, Benji's mom is who to you?
My sister,
And what is Benji's mother's name?
Erica Lala Flores.
Were you present in Benji's life at around the time that he was born?
Yes.
And did you live in close proximity to him?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. When he was an infant, do you recall approximately how often you would see him?
If I recall correctly, frequently he was a premature baby, so we would see him at the hospital and go visit Erica and Brandon.
Okay. Once he was out of the hospital, did you see him?
Yes.
And how often would you see him?
Maybe like once a week, twice a week, just depending. I think during that time, Erica would watch my oldest, my baby, Jamie. She would babysit her and stuff.
Mrs. Cervera, I'm sorry. You're a little soft spoken. Can you hold the mic a little bit closer to you? You can actually move the mic. The whole thing. How long did Benjamin live with Erica?
I want to say like the first 2 years of his life.
And eventually did Benji come to live with you for a short period of time?
Yes.
When was that?
I think January 6th, 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Prior to him coming to live with you for a little bit, can you describe Benji for the jury?
Yes. He was really sweet. And he was funny, like adventurous. He would like to be chased around a lot, carried and babied. He was a light.
When Benji came to live with you, did you have your own kids at that time?
I had one.
And how long did Benji come stay with you?
I would say just like a few days, maybe like 1 to 3 days. I think January 6th, I think that was the last day that he was with me.
Okay. When Benji, prior to coming to live with you, did you ever see him eat?
Yes.
Can you describe his eating pattern for the jury?
Yes. He would eat like whenever he wanted, whenever he was with us. If he wanted, like.
Here's my only problem with me skimming through all this, that I don't have the dates right. But I can't be mad at myself because the defense attorney and the sister and nobody got the dates right. You know what I'm saying? How long was it between people seeing that boy healthy and then him not being seen and him coming up bony, looking at, in those pictures that we saw from the police in the house that day, and then to a month later where he's limp in the arms of this woman and going to the hospital, and and this guy got acquitted. I don't understand none of it.
If I was eating Chinese food, he would want some Chinese food. If I was drinking Kool-Aid, he was like, I want some Kool-Aid too, and I would give him some, and he just wouldn't stop. He loved food, and he loved to play, and he loved to laugh too.
Do you recall him having any favorite foods?
Maybe he was destined to be a fat kid. Oh, he's overeating. What are you talking about, man? Let the boy eat. Now, if he's overeating to the point of sickness, now that's something you need to go see a behavioral therapist about it. Something. You got to do something.
I think the most thing that I can remember is Chinese food. We eat a lot of Chinese food in our family. So I think, if I can recall, that's what I remember us eating a lot of.
So during this first 2 years of his life, you see him get bigger?
Yes.
You see him grow taller?
Yes.
You see him put on weight?
Yes.
Do you see him hit his milestones?
Yes.
Do you see him when he starts babbling?
Yes.
Do you see him when he starts crawling?
Yes. And climbing?
Okay. I have one like that right now.
Yes.
Did you see when he started walking?
Yes.
When he came to live with you for those few days, did he spend basically 24 hours with you?
Yes.
Again, the eating. Was there any difference in the eating when he was living with you?
No, he definitely kept up with my oldest one. She's a few years older than him.
Okay. After Benji comes to stay with you for that short period of time, where does he go after that?
I connected with his paternal grandfather, Daniel CERVERA, and I gave both of the boys, baby Vernon and Benjamin, to Danny to take care of.
And I should ask you from the beginning, when Benji comes
Just 1 second, sir. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break.
All right, Jerry.
So that's what I said. Why doesn't this fool have full custody? The mom was obviously too worried about her personal life to be a mom. Yeah. Sister only had it for a little bit, had him for a little bit of time, but crazy.
saw Benji. Amy, when was the last time you saw Benji?
I would say in January of 2019. I believe that's the last time I saw him.
I'm going to look on the screen to your right, kind of behind you. It's already been admitted into the states, into evidence, the state's exhibit number 76, which is image number 30. Did Benji's body look like that when he was in your custody?
No.
Was he, how was it different?
He was plumper. He had very strong legs because he would climb a lot. And so I don't recognize that picture as Benji.
Oh.
I don't know if this is the glasses or the shape of the mouth, but she has a strange resemblance to the stepmom that ended up getting the 25 years for this case, for what they did to that child. There's no relation.
I'm going to show you on the screen what's already been admitted. It's state's exhibit number 94.
No.
If you look at your custody, could you see his ribs through his skin?
No.
Did he look like that when he was in your custody?
No. Objection. They're completely different ages. Clearly, they're not going to look similar.
Overruled.
Good job, Judge. About time.
I'm going to pass the search.
Ms. Sawyer.
Thank you. I'm showing you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 22. Is that what Benji looked like? Is this more what you recognize Benji looked like?
No.
You don't recognize him?
I recognize him, but he was happier. He was plumper.
He was plumper than that. He's also, would you agree with me, about a foot taller than when you last saw him?
I can only determine from 2019.
So you have a child of your own?
Yes.
She came in there hot. Yeah, you don't see this? You see this? This is a picture with you. He looked just fine, don't he? Yeah, you ain't complaining then, right? She honored.
When children grow up, do they get leaner?
Yes.
And the last time that you saw Benji, are you aware that he was under the 5th percentile curve?
I'm not aware of any of his medical documents like that.
Okay. Do you know if he had Mongolian spots on his back?
I do.
Okay. Did he also have a hairy back?
He did.
Thank you. I pass the witness.
Any further questions?
May Mrs. Avella be excused?
Let me say yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is she released from subpoena?
She may testify later, but I asked that she'd still be available.
Okay. So, Ms. Avella, we are done for today. The rule has been invoked, which means you cannot discuss your testimony with anybody but these attorneys. I am going to ask that you stay in touch with the state in case we need you back. Okay? Thank you very much.
That the defense lawyer was very short with her. Want no parts. Let me get out of here. All right. Let's get day 5. Where's 5? This is 3. Where's 5? Give me 5. this even possible? There we go. Hold on a sec. Trying to make sure I got the right one. Still don't understand how the stepmom got what she had coming, but not the punk ass father. What do you see in the picture? Oh, he's at a restaurant. Oh yeah, I think you're a little behind on the playback. Where is part 5? Okay. We just watched 4. What the fuck is day 5? Is that there? But this is the same shit we saw. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Been here a long time. I don't know if it's YouTube or my brain going off. History. Let me see. When was this one? This one was... Day 4 was...
Okay, so Ms. Isabella,
7 days ago. This was 3 days ago. Where's the 6 days ago joint?
And are you aware, well, at the time of the
Alright, I got it. I know what I gotta do.
okay, so Ms. Isabella, we are
This is frustrating. They just got it labeled all crazy. Nobody does shit right no more. Day 4, day 2. Let me see KSAT. What you got here? Let's go to your live streams. There we go. Two days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 7 days ago. We seen those. We seen this one.
He also testified to you about what series.
do kids die for unexpected reasons?
Medical shit. Closing argument.
The prosecution of the offense is barred by the
statute. I feel like
statute of
I'm missing
limitations.
some shit.
The statutory limitation period for the offense of injury to a child is 10 years from the 18th birthday of the victim of the offense. The indictment in this case was filed on May 19th, 2022. 7. Our law provides a person is criminally responsible as a party to an offense if the offense is committed by his own conduct or by the conduct of another for which he is criminally responsible or by both.
Like
each party to an offense.
I feel like I'm missing shit. Let me see. I went back here. Just go back to KSAT lives. Let me go to the one before that and just make sure I made it to the end of that.
prior to retirement. I actually don't even remember the name of it.
that were alleged.
Saw these.
And a wrestling.
This
In
lady.
effect,
Okay.
We're gonna go to the closing arguments. I feel like we're missing shit, man. Give me one more chance to get day 5. All right. Trial TV. Let's see what you got. Live streams. Here we go. Day 7, day 6, day 5. But day 5 looks like something we've seen already. Unless they brought that lady back. Oh no, we got video here. Hold on. All right. Court is break.
Correct.
okay, and so really, we're only talking about
Doctor, all right, we're day 5. Now we're going to go to this video evidence. We're skipping the doctor's testimony. They brought the doctor.
In the San Antonio Fear-Free Environment Unit, Safety Unit, which is community policing unit.
Does that appear to be a report?
Down.
Yes, it is.
And if you could just look at it very quickly as to the officer you first spoke with. What do you do next?
I went to view the body of the deceased child.
Okay. I'm going to refer to him as Benji. So where was Benji?
Benji was in one of the, examination rooms on a gurney.
Okay. And is that the first time you saw Benji?
Yes.
What did he appear like to you?
He had multiple bruises on his body, and he appeared to be extremely underweight, small.
At that point, had you already made a determination or assumption what was the cause of his death?
No.
So you go look at Benji. After you look at his body, what do you do next?
I then speak to the detective that's there with me to assist, Detective Ferguson, and we come up with our game plan of who we need to talk to, where we need to talk to them. There at the hospital, I did contact Miranda and Brandon. Brandon the father, Miranda the wife of Brandon, and just explain to them why we're there, why we needed to speak to them, because we need to figure out what happened to Benji.
And when you said father, Brandon, what was his last name?
CERVERA.
Do you have a date of birth for him?
Your Honor,
So long as there's no issue as it relates to the age of the defendant. Brandon's in the courtroom today.
Yes.
And can you point at him, identify by piece of clothing?
Identify his
Wearing the gray coat and the light blue shirt.
Your Honor, I'd have to record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant. So you talk to Miranda, you talk to Brandon, and then what happens next?
I asked, we'll get consent from Miranda just to photograph her vehicle because she had brought Benji to the hospital in her car, and we just wanted to get photographs of it. And then she was transported to our office. We explained to her we needed to get a statement from her, and she agreed. Talked to Brandon and explained to him that we need to do the same. He drove himself to the hospital in his pickup, and he asked, or I believe it was a pickup, he asked if we could give the keys to his brother, and we asked him if he could hold on to the apartment key, which he did, and we gave the keys to his brother. We asked that because we wanted to see if he'd give us consent to go take a look at their apartment, see if there was anything there that could kind of help us figure out what happened to Benji.
And was the defendant transported downtown?
Yes.
When you get downtown, who speaks to Miranda? Who speaks to Miranda when you go downtown?
To Miranda?
Yes.
I did.
And who spoke to the defendant?
Detective Ferguson.
When you were talking to Miranda, did she show you some videos?
She did.
And on what device did she show you videos?
On her cell phone.
And who did those videos, did they contain a person in them?
Yes.
And who was that person?
Benji.
What was the kind of nature of the videos? Let me ask it this way. Eventually, do you learn that the home has security cameras?
Yes.
Was one of those videos you viewed security camera footage?
It was.
And in that video, did that video contain Benji?
Yes.
The other video, was it surveillance video?
It was cell phone camera video.
Okay. So after you speak to both Miranda and the defendant, what happens next?
From there, they're released. We tell them we have to continue the investigation, and I need to wait for an autopsy to be conducted on Benji.
So when you talk to Miranda, and after she shows you the videos on her cell phone. Did you get consent to search the cell phone?
She did provide consent.
And did Mr. Sedetta provide consent to photograph the apartment?
Yes.
Were you present when the apartment was photographed?
I was not.
Did you review the photographs after they were taken?
Yes. We had another detective present at that apartment during that time.
Okay. Who did you turn the cell phone video to in order for it to be extracted or downloaded?
Our digital forensics unit. Their detectives there are trained on downloading cell phone or doing the data extractions.
Okay. Was anybody else talked to you that night?
There were some other people talked to. I'm trying to remember if it was that day or not. I know there were other family members there at the hospital, but I don't think we spoke to them that day. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Brandon Jr. was actually interviewed by ChildSafe that day. Not at our office, that's somewhere else.
Okay, we'll circle back to that in a minute.
Okay. And I'm just checking these other dates real quick. That was
her relationship to the defendant.
Benji's aunt.
Would that have been Brandon's sister?
Yes. And then Julia Center.
Good Samaritan.
That's who called 911. I think she encountered Miranda when Miranda was transporting Benji to the hospital. Tried to help.
What happens? Well, I mean, the worst happened. The boy left this plane of existence, right? But how long would it have took Miranda to call 911 if that lady didn't pull over?
Okay.
That statement, though, wasn't taken until much later.
Okay.
And I believe that was it.
Did you speak to the Benji's biological mother?
We did. I didn't speak to her directly. I know that she was, that day she was very, very distraught.
So she spoke to her a different day?
Yes.
So, you have, going back to the day of Benji's death, you speak to Miranda, you speak to the defendant, and that's when you said you needed to wait on the autopsy.
Yes.
Did you talk to Dr. Molina at any point?
It was, I did briefly speak to her prior to, because I wanted, or to the medical examiner's office. It was probably to an investigator, because I wanted to relay the information that I had been given by Miranda and information that was given by Brandon. We've been told that Benji was hitting himself, causing injuries to himself. So we needed to let them know that in case there was some question about some of the injuries he had, they would have somewhat, maybe an explanation as to why he had those.
Okay. Eventually, do you speak to Dr. Molina?
Yes.
You know roughly when that was?
Right after the autopsy that day.
Okay. And what was the purpose of talking to her?
I didn't attend. This was during that COVID time where they kind of shut us off and didn't want us there unless we absolutely had to be there, which was rare. So I wanted to talk to her and kind of get an idea of which direction we're going, mainly to find out if any injury he had was fatal. She told me there was not any fatal injury, but she also made a point to let me know that some of the injuries he had were in places where they could not have been self-inflicted.
Okay. And so you talked to Dr. Molina at that point, the day after the autopsy?
It was probably later that day after the autopsy or the day after.
I'm not objecting to ask for a limiting instruction. We are not, they're getting into injuries that have nothing to do with starvation or dehydration or medical care.
Are you offering these under?
She's acting like the boy's black eyes ain't part of evidence of the story. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with starvation. That ain't got nothing to do with dehydration. Pendeja, it got something to do with he had injuries that he couldn't have done to himself. She want that shit out of there, but again, her job. Shout out Deb Heiser. His parents failed him, family failed him, system failed him, everybody failed him.
3837?
We'd be offering injuries under 3837, but intending to go somewhere else, not as relates to these particular injuries, but his communications with Dr. Wolf.
Okay. And Ms. Sawyers, you're asking for limiting instruction at this time?
Yes.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, it is necessary that I read you this short instruction. The defendant is on trial solely on the charge contained in the indictment. The state may introduce in evidence acts other than the ones charged in the indictment. Reference to those other acts, you are instructed that said evidence was admitted only for the purpose of showing, if it does, the state of mind of the defendant and the child, and the previous and subsequent relationship between the defendant and the child. You cannot consider said evidence for any purpose unless you find beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed such act or acts, if any were committed. If you so find beyond a reasonable doubt, you can consider the evidence only for the purpose allowed. The evidence may not be considered to prove the character of the defendant in order to show that he acted in conformity therewith on the occasion in question. Thank you very much, Mr. Villarreal. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, you talked to Dr. Molina after the autopsy, or after the autopsy. Did you ever speak to her again?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of speaking to her then?
I needed to provide some information to her that we found on Miranda's cell phone.
Okay. Detective Size, I'm going to show you what has been marked. State's Exhibit number 77 for identification purposes. As I reviewed this disc, what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 18. Go ahead.
They're objecting to that because there's no evidence for his voice or anything.
123.
And so to provide a question, Your Honor, on State's Exhibit 79, number 2, we're objecting to that because there's no evidence for his voice or any male voice cannot be heard, and so therefore there's no link to him or whether he is even aware of this message.
Would you like a response, Judge? Or do we need your approach?
I might be confused. Please come forward, yes.
So let's label this video 1. What date does it say that the Benji dies?
4.
So that voice that you just heard, do you recognize that voice?
Yes.
And whose voice do you recognize that to be?
The defendant.
And what did you hear him say?
He's cursing at Benji, talking about the bread.
Specifically, did you hear him say, cry for more bread, bro, and I'm going to put your fucking ass in squats?
Yes.
And again, this is 4 days before he dies?
Yes.
All right. So listen, the argument for starvation. This is 4 days before he's gone. Boy munching on that bread. Father talking to him like shit. Evidently there's a problem. If Shorty is gorging and overeating, there's a problem. Physically, again, we skip the medical examiners because it's like physically nobody's told us, hey man, this is what was wrong with this Shorty. How does he have signs of, you can see his ribs, you can see his bone structure, signs of weight loss if he's chomping on bread? Like Zoraida said, there got to be some kind of traumatic issue going on. Something's happening. And Shorty just, this 4 days before he's gone, he's eating food right here. Well, it's bread.
Before Benji dies?
4.
So confused.
So that voice that you just heard, do you recognize that voice?
Yes.
And whose voice do you recognize that to be?
The defendant.
And what did you hear him say?
He's cursing at Benji, talking about the bread.
Specifically, did you hear him say, cry for more bread, bro, and I'm going to put your fucking ass in squats?
Yes.
And again, this is 4 days before he dies?
Yes.
I'm going to show you video number 2. What date was this created?
August 14th, 2021.
How many days before, how many days would that be before Benji dies?
3.
Can I please? Can I play, please? Dad. Come on, Brad.
Where's the video of the father saying, this is what I'm going through? This has been my problem. Shorty just wants to eat bread. It's all he wants. And when he eats, he wants to gorge on it. He's never... We don't hear nothing about your problem. We just see you videotaping this child that looks like a scared, timid child with knots on his head. You know what I'm saying? And at no point have I seen this aggressive, throwing a fit kid that they keep talking about. You know?
What did you hear Benji say?
He's asking for bread, asking his dad for bread,
And again, who's Benji's dad?
the defendant.
I want to go to video number 3. What date was this created?
June 8th, 2021.
So 2 months approximately before, 2.5 maybe, before he dies.
Yes.
Come on, through the process. Now. Not through the process. Lower. Come on, through the process. Now. Come on, through the process. Now. Not through the process. Lower.
Shorty's trying to get that lock, though.
During your review of the cell phone, were you able to recover multiple videos of this angle of the camera?
Yes.
And what part of the apartment is this?
The kitchen.
In review of the photograph, did it appear to be a camera in the kitchen?
Yes.
Move to State's Exhibit 8 and B.
Well, I know. Shout out Jonathan. He said he could be eating a loaf of bread, but if that's all he ate in 4 days, I agree. Didn't need any protein with vitamins, anything essential to keeping him alive. The little innocent kid's body won't handle it. I agree. Is that the case? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't see the old girl was in there selling the story about this wild out kid, and he just sounds like a kid like, run that bread, let me get this bread. So are these videos of after you starved him for however many hours, boom, he eats his bread and you still bitching about him getting some bread? Crazy. But my thing is that bread, I mean, yeah. They were just feeding him enough to keep him alive, I guess. That's crazy. I think something crucial that we're missing is in that other case, man, in the case against the stepmother, which I think they should have been tried together. Again, this just came on my radar today. I got to do more research and figure out, why it was separate cases and all that good stuff, and see if I can find a tape of old girl's case.
The file pathway name, 2021, or rather the file name, 2021-08-16. August 16th, what? Was that the day before Benji died?
Yes. Did they ever say, hold on, did I miss it? Did they ever say what he said in this video in the kitchen, what the father said?
The cell phone, were you able to recover multiple videos of this angle of the camera?
Yes.
And what part of the apartment is this?
The kitchen.
In review of the photograph, did it appear to be a camera in the kitchen?
He didn't ask him what he said. Maybe just trying to get away
multiple
from it.
videos,
Maybe that was just for us to see him trying to get at the lock.
Like you don't.
She's talking shit about him not letting, they're arguing about the baby not letting her sleep.
I'm not trying to get on the water, he didn't fucking come.
Okay, then you just fucking close the door, come to the fucking room and close the fucking door, right?
Yeah, but he's waking up the fucking boys.
So that means for you to scream at him?
Like you don't. He does this every fucking night.
Yeah, well, I'm not screaming at him in the middle of the fucking night.
No, you do.
Couple of fat pigs that procreate too much. Again, people, don't get caught up in how it sounds. We are watching some of this stuff at 1.25 speed, so it's a little bit faster than normal. But yeah,
So
it
the-
doesn't sound good at all.
Two voices on the recording. The one who, the female voice, the parent female voice, who was that?
Miranda,
And the male voice?
the defendant.
From your review of the case, as well as the phone and the videos from the phone, did you learn who would be crying at night?
Yes.
Who was that?
Benji.
And in this case, based on the conversation, what would Benji be screaming for?
Bread and water.
Bread and water, bro.
Your Honor, I'm gonna check. One is not specific to a video, and he has no personal knowledge.
Are you expecting speculation?
Speculation, sorry.
Speculation on the that the kid wanted bread and water. The kid didn't want a cheeseburger. Huh? You piece of shit. You look like you eating cheeseburgers.
Let's answer what Benji would be screening for. Is that the question?
Yes.
That objection is sustained.
And Judge, if I can just briefly respond.
Yes.
From that video, they're talking about water. I don't think it's speculation.
They are talking about water. She did say I try to give him the water and blah blah blah. He's right.
Then it has to be rephrased because that's not how he asked the question.
If you could rephrase your question is
That video, what was Benji asking for based on that night in that video?
An objection, we never hear Benji ask for anything in that video. We hear crying.
So, Mr. Video, are you speaking as to there's a reference in that video as to water?
Yes.
Okay, I think it might have, I think you might have to go over that to determine whether there is or isn't.
I'll go through the surveillance videos first so it's abundantly clear, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to open for you State's Exhibit number 78, which is the surveillance videos.
It says, indicates 29 videos,
Okay. Well, I want to talk about video number 1. What date was this created?
June 8th, 2021.
I want to pause for a second. Who is this in the video?
Leonidas.
And who is this?
Benji.
And who is this over here?
Brandon Jr.
So going to August 17th of 2021, when the home was searched, the apartment was searched and photographed, was there something in the doorway here?
Yes.
What was it?
A gate.
Okay. Does it appear on this video that that gate is present here?
No.
And in that video,
Jonathan, you're the last one to be giving water lectures, all right? Jonathan said effing bodies are made up of more than 75% water, all right? You're not the messenger, bro.
what do you see Benji doing?
Appears he brings something to Leonidas, a cup or something to drink.
For the video number 2, what date was this created?
July 23rd, 2021.
Come on, get the camera off this point. You got a snack?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to any questions about what's going on in the video. The jury has the evidence. This particular witness was not physically there. He's no more capable of viewing the videos than anybody else. So questions as to what he sees or doesn't see, I'm going to object to.
I'll allow him to describe what he sees in an item of evidence, but as to any speculation, I will sustain the objection as to Detective Side speculating as to what Benji's intent or maybe.
The Coke King has spoken.
I will follow the rules of evidence, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who is this?
Jonathan said, could have gave him apple or cranberry juice if we're going to go there. Thanos salutes. Right? Everybody drink water.
Benji.
And when you see the lights, who usually slept, or whose bed disappeared?
Brandon Jr.
Okay. And you would agree with this is a trash can down here?
Yes.
And then Benji takes something out of the trash can?
Yes.
Are you able to tell based on your experience as a dad what that item should have was?
Objection, speculation.
I haven't finished my question.
If you can finish your question, Mr. Villarreal.
You have kids?
I do.
How old are they now?
22 and 19.
Okay. God bless you.
Yeah.
So, you help raise them?
I did.
Give them treats, snacks?
Yes.
You have life experience other than being a police officer?
Yes.
Based on your experience, did it appear, hold on 1 second.
I'm going to object to leading.
Just before you answer the question, Detective Sides, Mr. Villarreal, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Did this appear to you to be anything that you recognized?
I'll let you answer that question.
It looks like an empty snack bag.
Okay. Thank you.
She is on his
We go to video number 3. What date did it say this was created?
July 28th, 2021.
no video of physical handling or abuse, a lot of
Prior to having the cell phone extracted, did you see this video before that?
Yes.
Who showed it to you?
Miranda.
And did she provide you context about what was happening?
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
Well, she provided you context without telling me what she said.
Yes.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving on to video number 4. When was this created?
July 28th, 2021.
So same day as video number 3?
Yes.
Like, you're not telling me how long he was wilding before this. Because he seems like a shorty that wilds out and then he calms down. That sounds like normal kid behavior to me. I know adults that move like that. I got it at normal speed. Nobody paying attention.
What, if anything, can you hear Benji asking for?
Milk.
Moving on to video number 5. What day was this created?
July 28th, 2021.
Is that the same day as video number 3 and number 4?
Yes.
And this is approximately how many weeks before Benji's death?
3.
Are the other kids in there sleeping? Shout out Deb, his room looks like a prison. Yeah, but the other video, the other lady was saying, video, and it got creative decorations on the wall. Jonathan said, I hope them officers, child services, if anyone who didn't do enough is held accountable, or at least dreams about this forever and hold these painful sounds until they release. Agreed. I've seen animals take much better care of their babies, sacrificing themselves to save their babies. Facts. But I also show you some animals that do some foul shit to babies.
What, if anything, can you hear Benji from asking for that?
And that right there is the truth of it all. You know? Humans just another fucked up foul animal, man.
Milk.
You want some milk?
On to video number 6. What date was this created?
July 29th, 2021.
So the day after the last video?
Yes.
kid. Smart. Use that pillow.
And looking at that video, is that gate that we previously mentioned that he was photographed on 8/17 of 2021 in the picture now?
Yes.
And again, who was this individual who would just cloud over the gate?
Benji.
Moving on to video number 7, when was this created?
August 3rd, 2021.
And approximately how many weeks is that before Benji dies?
Just about 2 weeks.
It seems to just be him though, locked in there all the time. Of course he's gonna be a prison break.
Who is depicted in this individual in the video?
Benji.
Moving on to video number 8, when was this video created?
August 4th, 2021.
The day after video number 7?
Yes.
Who is this in the video?
Benji.
Can you hear what he's asking for, if anything?
Sounds like water.
Shorty always locked in there. He's always locked in there.
Going on to video 9, what day was this created?
August 4th, 2021.
Same as video number 8?
Yes.
I want to pause for a second. There appears to be somebody at the beginning of the video, right?
Yes.
Do you recognize that voice?
Yes.
Who's?
The defendant.
And what do you hear him say?
Shut the fuck up.
And who is this individual?
Benji.
Bro, that's. Listen, man. I love to smack the shit out of dude. Wow. Just whole eardrum shit just ooze out of his fucking head.
Do you recognize that at the beginning of the video, right? For a second. It's created.
August 4th, 2021.
Same as video number 8?
Yes.
I want to pause for a second. There appears to be somebody at the beginning of the video, right?
Yes.
Do you recognize that voice?
Yes.
Who's?
The defendant.
And what do you hear him say?
Shut the fuck up.
And who is this individual?
Benji.
Again, how many weeks before he dies?
2 weeks.
On to video number 10. What day was this created?
August 6th, 2021.
Show me proof he had something to eat every day. This kid is always on escape mode, but they always got him locked up. Where's the other one? And now we say always because that's just the videos they show us. Now, is this at night? Is that Leo right there sleeping? Is this kid in here sleeping? Is this him just doing this in the middle of the night? He just one of them kids, man.
Who is this individual right here?
Benji.
Can you tell who this is?
Leonidas.
Going to video number 11. Can you see when this video was created?
August 10th, 2021.
How many days before Benji dies?
7.
Who is this?
Benji.
And then this individual right here.
Leonidas.
Going to video number 12. What day was this created?
August 10th, 2021.
She peeped him about to smash Leonidas with that phone book.
Who's this individual?
Benji.
And the one that was over here?
Leonidas.
And the person who walked in the room?
Miranda.
Moving on to video number 13. When was this video created?
June 6th, 2021.
It's that kitchen. He's creeping. He's always creeping. He knows that camera's looking at him.
At this point, are you able to see those locking mechanisms that were present on on August 17th of 2021 on these cabinets?
No.
Does there appear to be something here?
Yes.
And what was that?
Some kind of strap to keep it closed.
Going on to video number 14. When was this created?
June 8th, 2021.
He looks at the camera. What's his cookies, bro? I was a ninja as a kid in the kitchen.
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
And could you tell what he grabbed?
Cookies.
Is that bread?
No.
Jordy's a creeper. He's always creeping. I was always creeping. On my Twinkies.
This latch, or this object right here, what did that appear to be to you?
Some type of blocking mechanism.
On to video number 15. When was this created?
June 8th, 2021.
If you lock him in, he wants out. If you lock him out, he wants in. It's just, he's that kid.
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
Can you tell what part of the apartment that is?
The kitchen.
My bad. It's just every time that buzzing happens, Can y'all hear me? You
Video,
good? What's
number
up?
16. When was this video created?
That buzzing
June 8th,
happens, it
2021.
drowns me out. Oh shit, I fucked up. That was an accidental click right there. Hold on. My bad. God damn it. Let's go. Who's in the kitchen?
June 8th, 2021.
This object right here.
So that I said, I can't with this lawyer that Gate is imprisoning the child from having a free life to his own house. This is abuse, pendejo. You have the proof, but not spitting the words to prove your case. They'd argue that that fence is something normal that people sell to keep kids in a certain section of the room or a certain section of the house. Is my audio whack for real? What's up? Did I do something? What did I do?
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
Can you tell what part of the apartment that is?
The kitchen.
Going on to video number 16. When was this video created?
June 8th, 2021.
This desk stands up, but I need to do some cord management so that I can just stand it up whenever I want to higher, so that I can stand up while we do this. Because these 8-hour streams is something crazy. Salutes. All right, hundreds up in the chat for y'all. Shorty's with the snacks. Is it because it's who he is, or is it because they're not feeding him? Is the question. And can they tell us if he had an illness that just had him not feeling satisfied, or if this was some kind of trauma or something? My problem is they're not telling us nothing. But why old girl go to jail then? If it was something wrong with him, then why old girl go to jail then? I don't know, man. To me, I got to see that trial for me for this to make any sense.
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
And what does it appear that he is eating in that?
Jello.
So is that bread?
No.
On to video number 17. When was that video
He's
created?
going against the idea that he was on some bread rampage. Like, it was just eat the bread, eat the bread, eat the bread. He's making the case that, nah, shorty eat everything, anything, all the shit that he want to eat, not just bread.
June 8th, 2021.
Bro got a whole watermelon in his hand, bigger than his head. Is this the same day? Looks like the same day. Shorty got the kitchen in him. Feel his pain.
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
And what does it look like he's eating?
Watermelon.
So not bread.
Not bread.
On to video number 18. When was that video created?
June 8th, 2021.
They explained that Albert said, why is his bed just a mattress too, but everyone else got a regular bed? He had one, so he's 4 years old, but he was potty trained and reverted to diapers because he had a bed, the same exact bed that the other shorty, Leonidas, had, but he shit that bed up. You know, so he got some stomach issues. Something's happening. Something's going on there. Something's going on there. But yeah, that's why he didn't have a bed. And he hitting the pudding, man. What's that? The pudding? Yeah. You raw dog and butter, boy? What are you doing? That looks like the same day. I'm not watching the dates. I'm just dumbfounded up there. Look like them locks. Wasn't stopping shit.
Who's depicted in that
Benji.
video? Are you with always eating?
No.
Does that appear to be bread?
No.
Going on to video number 19. When was this video created?
June 8th, 2021.
Or shorty not eating all day. Questions we're not getting answered here. You only eating at night. What time is it on that clock?
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
Can you tell what he's drinking?
I don't know what's in the cup, but he pulled out a milk jug.
Okay. Going on to video number 20. What date was this video created?
June 8th, 2021.
These are all the same day. Minutes apart. He's just in the kitchen maxing. He looks at the camera. The camera is the representation of the thing that could pop him off. He's trying to stay quiet from the camera, but he doesn't understand the logic of it. So rather than look at that doorway to make sure he's not caught, he keeps looking at the camera. Keeps looking at the camera. Camera ain't gonna do shit. It's kind of the equivalent of putting the microphone side of your phone to your ear and the speaker side to your mouth type shit.
Can you tell, or does it appear? What does it appear that he's eating?
Fruit cup.
So not bread.
Not bread.
Not bread.
And then video number 21. When was this video created?
June 8th, 2021.
A minute later. What he got, man? He got the sugar though. He got the juice out. Shorty's not playing no games. He wants it all right now. What is that? Almond milk? He can't figure out how to put it up there. It's heavy for him. He's trying not to fuck up. He's trying not to get in trouble. I'm hoping y'all can hear me while I do his play-by-play, man. He's just hanging out in the kitchen, man. Getting himself sick. He's trying to get it up there.
Who's in that video?
Benji.
Can you tell what he's holding?
Carton of some type of drink, probably.
Okay. So, all those last videos, let's say, video numbers 14 through 21 were all on June 8th of 2021.
Yes.
So,
Second.
that night, what can you tell him that he ate?
A lot of things that weren't bread.
Okay. Going on to video number 22. Can you tell, or what day was this video created?
June 10th, 2021.
Creeping again? Bam! Creeping. Looking at the camera. He doesn't get the logic. But where they at? You know, they sleeping that hard? Everybody trying to sleep around here with her fat ass. You know, he could have made an 8-course meal in that kitchen. All the time he's spending there by himself. Shout out Zorada said, yes it is. Yet if you have kids crying and every time in that confined environment asking for basic life needs, it's abuse. It's negligence as a parent. I'm sure there was a way he could have worded it to fight.
Who is depicted in that video?
Benji.
And again, what part of the apartment is this?
The kitchen.
Going on to video number 23. What date was this created?
June 29th, 2021.
This is stick in that fridge, boy?
Who's depicted in this video?
Benji.
Does it appear you can fully open the refrigerator door?
No.
Going on to video number 24. What day was this created?
July 16th, 2021.
What he do? Texas toast in the middle of the night. Why is he doing this every night? Are they not feeding him during the day? His eyes are blacked out in this one. Where's the video of them getting him? See, where's the video of that? Where's the video of them getting him out of the closet with his eyes clawed up and all that shit? Where's that? Huh? We got this. We went from that to this? To him now with two black eyes and a bloody ear?
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
Are you aware of when police went out prior to his death for a welfare check?
Yes.
That was approximately July 20th, 2021?
Yes.
And in this video, do you notice anything as it relates to the appearance of Benji's face?
He looks injured.
Okay. What part of his face?
His eyes.
Is there something in his ears?
It appears to be bandaged.
And again, this video was created on what day?
July 16, 2021.
We're going to video number 25. What day was this created?
July 16th, 2021.
Bro, he's relentless. Well, he got the nutty bars. He's not fucking around. Love this kid.
Who's depicted in that video?
Benji.
Can you tell what he's grabbing?
Nutty Buddies.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Nutty Buddy?
Unfortunately.
Okay. What is a Nutty Buddy?
It's a chocolate wafer bar.
Does it have
Yeah,
anything
you
on
was
the
gonna
inside?
smile and giggle, you fat fuck.
Just like a cookie type wafer.
Does it have a flavor?
I don't think so.
What up? Does that have peanut butter in it?
They could. The ones I've had don't.
Okay.
Yes, they do, you dumb fuck. You don't know what a nutty bar
Is that
is?
yours when he's grabbing that box?
Yes.
Are you able to tell what's in the forefront of this?
Idiot don't know what he ate.
Bread.
He eats his buddy's nutty.
Moving on to video number 26. What date was this created?
July 16, 2021.
This looks like a kid that ain't ate all day. None of this shit makes sense.
Who's in that video?
Benji.
What does it appear that he's doing?
Drinking water.
Moving on to video number 27. Video number 27. When was it created?
July 16, 2021.
So run that Texas toast, man. Now take that shit too. Nah, I don't want that shit. Put that shit back. So you taking a dump?
Who's depicted in the video?
Benji.
Does he eat the bread that's in the forefront of the video?
No.
Ah, he didn't eat the bread. That's
What date was
funny.
created?
How ridiculous the system is.
July 15, 2021.
I think he's taking a dump. He's looking at the camera and shit. Something going on with this child, man. All that junk food run through him.
Who's picking that again?
Benji,
Pilot video number 29. When was that created?
July 21st, 2021.
He's definitely taking a dump right there. He's relentless. But if he's not eating during the day, I can understand why he's relentless. But do we know that? What do we know? Like, this shit got me confused. I see movement in the other room.
Who's the feedback man?
Benji,
Do we see now a change in now these locks are here?
yes.
And does this appear to be the same lock on the fridge that was in the other videos?
No, it's different.
So this is as of July 21st, 2021.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the kid of the... we don't have cameras in the closet, but you have cameras outside the closet of the day he had the fit. Of the, or y'all woke up in the morning. Where's the video of when you woke up the next morning and saw his eyes like that? Where's all that? I agree, Deb. I agree. I don't understand.
I'm going to show you now what the biggest six exhibit number 223. Six exhibit number 223. What did you guys?
5. I'm sorry. 8.
How you just videotape me? What is that? That's a behavioral what? What is that? What's causing that? Where's that coming from?
Who is that?
Benji,
Does it appear that he hits himself with that same level of force throughout the video?
yes.
What happens when Miranda tells him to stop?
He stops.
Does that happen throughout the video?
Yes.
I'm not.
So why the bitch didn't tell him to stop after he hit himself twice? Bitch, wait till he do it 156 times before she tell him to stop.
Finally, I'm going to go to what's admitted, six exhibit number 77.
Pathetic. Piece of shit.
These are text messages, correct?
Yes.
You can see the from and then the to, right?
Yes.
And this 210-739-2624, that's what you testified as to is the defendant's cell phone?
Yes.
So that's Miranda. That's Miranda's text. I don't want you to call her anything but man, this boy is out of hand. He's been crying all day for bread. I gave him some and he wants all of it. That's caused by trauma due to them mentally ducking him up. Hey, Perfecto J777. I'm watching some negative. You an accused what? Weren't you accused of something? Huh? You say you was falsely accused. Maybe we don't believe you. Huh? I'm sharing negative energy. You're a coward, cuck. You know what I'm saying? You could never see me, dog. You would never see me. All right? It's very easy to do. But you a pathetic cuck for you just come here just to run your little whore mouth inconsequentially and keep talking. You know what I'm saying? Just run your mouth. But you a coward. We know you're a coward. You know? But this is negative energy. You seem like the dude that would abuse a child like this. You seem like the dude that would abuse a woman like this. That's what you seem like, you know? With that said, you belong down the drain. You should have ended up there. You the bottom of my shoe. You're a nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only giving you the time of day. We're here. It's late. This is what? We're on almost our 8th hour of streaming here. And you decide to come talk shit. Don't act like a gangster, dude. I'm more gangster than you. I beat the bitch out of you. Huh? I treat you like what you are. You know what I'm saying? But you could see me. You said you're not far. No, you know what I'm saying? I wish your mother was easy to control. Somebody would control her to swallow you rather than unleash you on all of the innocent women that you've, allegedly, made uncomfortable. I can make you can make me mad anytime, guaranteed, but I can make you disappear anytime. You don't exist unless I acknowledge you. I've been ignoring you and you've been running off like a little bitch. Then you come back and try again, but I'm giving it to you this time. You know what I'm saying? To break up the monotony of the courtroom. Treat you like the bitch that you are. Perfecto Gay 777. You a coward. You an internet guy. You run on, talk shit. I run this, I run that. Twitter fingers. You's a hoe. You don't got no friends. All you got is accusers. You down to fight? Cool. Let's see if you make it. Come and get it. Let's see if you make it. I wouldn't last. I don't have to last. I just got to put it into you. That's it. But make your move, Perfecto. Make it count. Make sure you see me first and I don't see you. I mean, just make sure. Right? Just make sure. Because I know your whole team, you pussy. See, you trolls instantly do that. Hide behind the team. Well, guess what? Tell your team to eat my dick too. You know what I'm saying? Tell your team that they could fall off with you. You know what I'm saying? Your mother's the cops. You know what I'm saying? Or was your father a cop and your mother the prostitute? Which one was it? Ain't no love. I hate people like you, cowards that just behind the screen. You know what I'm saying? You know? I hate motherfuckers like you. I wish the worst for motherfuckers like you. Just like I wish for dude. You know what you know better than dude. You know what I mean? You know, your father's the cop, your mom's the prostitute. You know what I'm saying? But I just hate pussies like you that just be on the internet running their dick suckers all day long. I run this. You a pussy. You a pussy. We know you pussy. You can't predict shit. You know what I'm saying? What do you predict? Make a prediction, pussy boy. I guarantee you hit your girl. No. You can't guarantee that. But I guarantee that you was accused. Huh? You was accused, weren't you? You beat the case, huh? Predator. You a predatory cunt. You know? The way you get so mad, I guarantee you got your girl. Dad, don't get me started on Perfecto J. He's in the he made Zoraida uncomfortable. That guy can't be around girls. Girls don't like him. They negate him. They push him away. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be around motherfuckers like that. You don't get me mad. Your existence annoys me because you're a piece of shit, you know? And your mother should have swallowed you. But with that said, I'm going to get you the fuck out of here. All right? Because we done with you for today. And remember, I could make you disappear forever, but I keep letting you come back. But I think you're a pussy. I believe that. I believe you're a pussy. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't loved as a child or an adult. Girls don't fuck with him. He makes women uncomfortable. He's a weirdo. I have 2 girls I date. Who says they date? You're a cuck. You know what I'm saying? You're a cuck. You're the guy that stands behind the girl and shit while she pays and shit, right? You get catfished and you roll with it. You're a sucker, man. You can come see, just show up. Perfecto, we don't have to set up nothing. You set me up. You set me up. That's how this works. I don't do none of the work for you. You set me up. All right? That's it. It's easy. It's that easy. You bore me. Your mother's a prostitute. All right. I did him in. That was me. Put him in a fucking bedroom. I'm going to get rid of him for good one day. But it's just so pathetic to me that you consider yourself a man. You know what I'm saying? That you consider yourself the type of person that's going to talk tough and tell somebody how you're going to whoop them, right? But all you do is jump on the internet and jump in for 5 minutes. Look, I can control you. It's like you're pathetic. Like you're nothing. Just a nothing-ass human being. Half a human being. All right? Who has a bad track record with women. We don't tolerate rapists or assaulters around here. You know what I mean? All right? My temper come out all over you, but you set me up. Just remember that. All right? We don't have to set up nothing. You set me up. Take your best fucking shot. I'll get back to my regularly scheduled program. All right? You can't make me mad, motherfucker. You know, you can only make me acknowledge you and disappear you when I feel like it. I felt like it right now. Last couple of days, I didn't feel like it. Right now, I felt like it. You know what I'm saying? So, you sit in there and, you know, talk yourself to sleep with the 2 girls you date, 2 blow-up bitches you date. Salutes. Fucking punk. I hate pussies, man. He's such a pussy.
All right, this is 2.
I believe she's saying this boy is out of hand, has been crying all the call. Or
Are you able to read from
yes, the top
right.
text. I don't want you to call or anything, but man, I believe she's saying this boy is out of hand, has been crying
Adios,
all day for
pendejo.
bread.
My bad, I had to hit him with it.
Adios, pendejo.
Let's see your arrest record. Let's do that. Let's see yours, JJ. Let's see your arrest record. I bet you got some girl shit on there. You ain't gonna find no smut on mine. Go ahead, look me up. Drop that shit in the Discord. Go right ahead, JJ. Huh? Do it. Do it. Don't talk about it. Don't threaten me about nothing. Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Do it. You down. You down, do it. If you so down, do it. Do it. JJ, do it. JJ, just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't warn me. Don't talk about it. Just do it. No, we don't have to deal shit. You see it. Now you want help? You get the shit and drop it. Get it and drop it. Get it and drop it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Look how mad you are. Look how gay you are. Look how pussy you are. You know what I'm saying? Go look in the mirror so you can see how pussy you are. You know what I'm saying? On the internet, mad. I'm over here laughing at you, dude. You laughing at who? We're laughing at you. You're pathetic. You don't have a channel. You have alts. You run around and you do this all day and then you hide at home. You're a cunt. You know what I'm saying? So, miss me with you're not a, how can I say this? You're not unique, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not a troll. You're not a unique troll. You're a weak troll. But we know that already. Anybody who got that many alts, we already know what you are. A coward. You're a coward. Come get some, though. But that's easy. Paperwork, do what you got to do. Don't ask me for permission. Just do it. Shut the fuck up. Otherwise. God damn.
I gave him some and he wants all of it.
Okay, and then he texts her what?
Just give it.
He said just give it to the dude. Something was going on there, man. Again, it seems different than what I thought it was going to be, but it's different. Seems different. See, if you got that many alts, you're just a weirdo. You're a stalker. I guarantee if we look up your shit, there's some horrible woman shit going on in there, boy. Falsely accused, huh? Well, we're gonna ban the, we're gonna ban the, all of his alts. We're gonna ban those for life. Those are out of here for life. He can't come back with those alts. He gotta make new alts. So, like, the JJ one, that one's gonna have to, that's gonna be a faux life situation. He only gets the Perfecto J77, the original one, to come back. The other ones, they gone forever. Because then otherwise he just jumps on his alts all the time. I'm not with that. Let me see. So we got to make sure to hit JJ next time. So whatever alts he comes in, they get clapped, hidden from this channel for good. All right? Entertain that, fucking dork. Oh, you're my entertainment child. I'm laughing at you. Shut the fuck up. Fucking nerd. Buddy said just give it to dude.
To the dude.
Okay, and then 3 from Brandon to Miranda.
He can just eat that and that's it. Just chill out.
And then
she said he wants the whole
Miranda
thing.
tells Brandon what?
He wants the whole thing.
And then the defendant tells Miranda what?
Just give one by one.
And then again, the defendant tells Miranda what?
You don't need to eat dinner.
And then Miranda tells the defendant what?
This is just too much. Him getting his way all the time and still not listening. He just finished one loaf and wants more. He's still yelling and crying.
And then Brandon tells Miranda what?
Just give it to him till he grows up.
No, that's till he throws up. In other words, he's telling him if he want it all, give it to him all, and if he gets sick, videotape him. She just keeps complaining. Where is this coming from? This eating this full loaf of bread till he gets sick shit.
Take videos of him. Or I'm sorry, till he throws up. Take videos of him.
And then Miranda tells Brandon what?
I don't even have storage anymore from all the other videos I have of him.
And then Brandon tells Miranda what?
Well, delete some.
She's gonna be like, well, I'm tired of deleting. He's gonna be like, just do it anyway.
So, what day are all of these messages?
August 12th, 2021.
And that's how many days before Benji dies?
5.
And again, Brandon tells Miranda what?
He don't need to eat dinner.
I want to talk about Child Safe for a second. What is Child Safe?
Child Safe is an organization that assists.
He's talking about Child Safe. All right. She's gonna cross now. Let me see.
Alice was Miranda's mother, and April was Miranda's sister.
And then who else you talk to?
Michaela Casares, another sister of Miranda's.
So, other than interviewing the witnesses for having them interviewed, reviewing the cell phone, reviewing the crime scene photos, did you take any other actions on this case?
I did provide some photographs to Dr. Molina, photographs and videos that were taken from the cell phone data extraction because I wanted to provide her with a timeline of what we saw, how we saw Benji, from April until the day he died.
Okay. So you provided those to Dr. Molina?
Yes.
Other than that, did you take any other actions on this case prior to seeking an arrest warrant?
No.
Based on the course of your investigation, reviewing the evidence, eventually did you have an arrest warrant issued?
Yes.
For who?
Both Miranda and the defendant.
And for what offense?
Injury to a child, serious bodily injury.
Dr. Simon,
Ms. Sawyers, did you need a break or were you able to take care of the issue?
Why don't I get going, get a little bit down the road, and then we can take that break. I didn't use it for so short. So you understand that right now, Brandon is faced, like the indictment in this case, charges him with injury to a child, serious bodily injury by omission.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And there's a difference between an omission crime and an act, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you claim that there's injuries that you observe serious bodily injury by omission.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a difference. Faced, like the indictment in this case, charges him with injury to a child, serious bodily injury by omission.
Yes.
By omission.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a difference between an omission crime and an act, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you claim that there's injuries that you observed on Benji in August 17th, 2021 when you were at the hospital, correct?
I did see injuries on him, yes.
And by injuries, bruising.
Correct.
Okay. And then you also commented on these bruises that you say that you discussed with Dr. Molina on August 18th or shortly thereafter.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you would agree with me that you did not seek an arrest warrant on August 18th for bruising to the child, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And he's not being charged, Brandon's not being charged with any injury to a child by act, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So let's talk about that. When you get an arrest warrant, you would agree with me that the standard of proof is just probable cause, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's far different than the standard of proof that's required in this court.
Yes.
So now, when we were talking about this timeline, I want to point out that part of what Brandon's being accused of is that he intentionally and knowingly caused a serious bodily injury by failing to provide adequate nutrition, correct?
By his failure to act to protect Benji, yes.
Not by failure to act. Have you seen the indictment?
I have not.
Okay. I just asked you if he was being charged by injury, serious bodily injury by act or by omission, and you agreed it was by omission, correct?
Right.
Okay. And so by omission means that you have a duty, and the duties that were alleged in the indictment were failure to provide adequate nutrition, failure to provide hydration, and failure to seek proper medical care. Those are the three that are alleged by the state.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in regards to that, you understand that he has to be aware, either intentionally or knowingly, deprive the child of food, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, in this regard, you would agree with me that on June 8th, that video that we saw about 14, the front, to be very clear.
Together.
Correct? This little kid has gotten cookies out, correct?
Yes.
He got Jello cup,
Yes.
watermelon,
Yes.
some other kind of food that we couldn't tell what it was. He got milk,
Yes.
he got fruit cup,
Yes.
and then what looked like maybe almond milk or some other type of milk carton.
Yes.
Okay, and so this is a lot for a little bitty kid, right? Lots of different types of foods.
It's a lot.
Right. And so, and you would agree with me that we do not see any changes on the locking mechanisms until right before, on July 15th, 2021.
Yes.
And from June 8th, when they recorded all these different foods that he has access to, you would agree with me that he has demonstrated that he is able, the one mechanism that was there on the refrigerator, that he was able, you physically saw him be able to open it and get in, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the other mechanism that was on, that's a white mechanism, that's on the tall pantry, you saw him be able to get into the pantry and that was there?
Yes.
Okay.
Mind you, all of those things are set high so that a kid can't get to them. He has to go in there and climb shit to get to them.
So we have this long period of
So during the day, there's no him getting to it without being seen.
time where we have no other mechanisms that are even remotely preventing them from getting access, correct?
Correct.
And then
Where's the video of them pulling him out the closet after he poked his eyes? Where's that, man?
on 7/20, when the police show up, the mechanisms that
Forget that. They keep doing this mechanism shit. She's drowning people in mechanism. Based off of what we seen, had a lot of behavioral and antisocial problems. Just the mental, plus the mental abuse probably didn't do him any good. Coping problems, trying to get a reaction, etc. He needed help. They gave him none. They gave him shit and talked crazy to him. And somehow he ended up gone.
This is Garcia, police fire, or you?
Hello? Yes, can I speak? I'm on the road right now. I'm driving as fast as I can, taking my son Fisherman to Santa Rosa. I have to take a nap because I'm so tired. I have a baby and he's coming up all night and hello?
Do you need to speak to EMS?
Yes.
Stand on line.
Okay.
What you eyes closed about now? What you emotional about now? How many videos haven't we seen of that child in some kind of distress? And you've been pendejo faced, and now all of a sudden.
Hello? Can you hear me?
What's your address?
Oh yes, I'm on the road right now. I'm right here on Mulberry. I'm going towards Santa Rosa.
You're driving right now?
Yes. I'm driving as fast as I can because I have my son Fisherman to Santa Rosa.
Okay.
And I'm like, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm on the road right now.
Here's what's strange to me. Is that Miranda on the phone? That's not the. Is that the girl that called 911? Is that Miranda? Who is it? Because she said, "Oh, I'm tired." What?
Ma'am.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but if you're driving EMS to help you, you have to stop.
Okay, well, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's not responding yet. I took a nap and before I took a nap, I put him to take a nap.
How old is he?
He's 5 years old.
Okay.
She starts telling details and something about a nap and all of this shit. That's a red flag to me.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's not responding yet. I took a nap and before I took a nap, I put him to take a nap.
How old is he?
He's 5 years old.
Okay. And you need to pull over right now.
I took a nap. I put them to take a nap.
Tell me where you're at.
I'm out here on Valero by Josephine.
Josephine and what?
Bro, I didn't see this dude put his head down once at videos of his son. And the moment his woman's voice comes up on the thing, he's a mess. He's just like that other Mamabicho that's listening but can't talk right now. This is the type of cowardly human being right here. Shout out Dev. She said back to our regular programming. You know, it just cowardly fucking people annoy me. You know what I'm saying? And these trolls think that they're unique. They're not unique. Jonathan been learning and seeing them. Seeing how they all do the same thing. They talk about how tough they are. Then they say, I got a bunch of people behind me. Shut the fuck up, man. I ain't got nobody behind me, papas. You know what I mean? Fuck you mean. But that's like this coward right here. Look at him. Now all of a sudden he got his head down. He putting on an act. Huh? But he didn't put on that act when he was looking at his son up there looking malnourished. When he was looking at his son up there going through the fridge. Now when he hears his girl's voice, all of a sudden the girl that went and got 25 to life for him, you know what I'm saying? Or 25 for him, or for whatever she did in this. He's sitting here making a face now and putting his head down.
I don't know, I guess Broadway, I just pulled over at the gas station. Out of there.
So you're Broadway to Josephine?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like,
Is he breathing?
I feel his heart. I feel his heart.
Okay.
She does not sound like she gives a shit. It's definitely not his mother. And who knows what his mother was like. Some people ain't cut out to be mothers. They need, This one looks like she needs all the naps. Stop fucking, pendeja. Huh? Try that.
Okay. And he's not waking up?
No, he's not responding. He's looking over this, but he's not responding. But he has a habit where he's always like,
Look at him. I ain't seen him move his face until he heard her voice. This sucker ass motherfucker.
He broke tantrums and I don't know if he woke up when I was sleeping. I'm just so tired because I stayed up all night.
I'm worried about, I just need to get
She
information.
keeps saying, I'm just so tired. Everything is about her problems.
And he's not waking up?
No, he's not responding. He's looking over this, but he's not responding. But he has a habit where he broke tantrums and I don't know if he woke up when I was sleeping.
He throws tantrums. I don't know if he woke up when I'm sleeping. When I was sleeping, I'm just
so
so
tired
tired.
because I stayed up all night.
I'm worried about, I just need
Because
to
I
get...
stay, shut up. Nobody cares about your problems, bro. Cry about it to this bitch ass punk that's crying like a pussy in fucking court the moment he hears his woman talk. But the whole time his son was suffering in those videos, he didn't have no tears to shed. He didn't have no head to put down. You know what I'm saying?
Information of him. I'm not worried about why, anything like that. Okay.
That's that cowardly shit. Them the type of motherfuckers that just talk shit to people. Cowards like this.
So, he is breathing, but not responding?
Yes.
Has he ever had a seizure before?
No.
Okay, does he have a fever or has he been sick?
No.
And you're at the Valero?
Yes, right here on Broadway and
Okay, what are you in?
I'm in a gray Chevy Malibu.
Okay, can you please put your hazards on?
Yes, they are on.
Okay. And so, is he laying down?
I have him in the front seat. I didn't want him in the bathroom.
Okay, make sure he's on his side, okay? Keep an eye on him. We want to monitor his breathing, okay? If we want to leave him on his side, that way if he throws up, he's not going to choke on anything, okay? They'll be there shortly. If anything changes before we get there, you need to call us back to stop breathing or anything like
Yeah,
that.
she might fall asleep, She might take a nap. She's tired, remember?
Right now, okay?
Yeah, I stopped, before I got in the car, I stopped, this girl had stopped to help me, and I think she had called for me.
Okay, well, if you left, we can't chase somebody down. You have to, and so what was your address?
It was right here on Broadway and Josephine. That's the better on the...
No, where did the call?
My apartment at 3031 Eisenhower Road.
3031 Eisenhower Road?
Yes.
Okay, so we actually have somebody responding. Is that the Verano at the Heights apartment?
Yes.
All right, was your husband calling maybe by chance?
I don't know.
Okay, all right, well, we're headed to your location at Broadway and Josephine, okay?
Okay, can someone hurry up?
Someone hurry up.
Now I'm gonna play for you Defendant's Exhibit 50.
What did they lock up the stepmother for then?
I don't know, 911, this is Garcia, do you need police?
Can I get you the email?
EMS, stay on the line.
Yes.
San Antonio Fire and EMS, what's guys, city emergency?
Josephine and Broadway, I just called.
Okay, what's going on?
Yes, my son, he's 5 years old, and I just called, and she told me to call back, and he wasn't breathing. I don't see him breathing anymore.
You don't see him breathing at all?
No.
Okay, this is chest rising?
No.
I love to put that bottle through his shit.
I feel like, I don't know if I feel his heartbeat. I don't know if it's like real low. I don't know.
Okay. All right, do you know how to do CPR?
No, I don't.
Okay, is he on the floor?
He's on the seat. I don't want someone
You don't know
to
CPR? All those kids, you tired? Come on, man. You're a parent, get you some CPR. You want to be fucking all the time, making all these babies to where you're too tired to take care of them. What you crying about, punk?
What, are you in a car?
Yes, I'm in the car.
Okay,
I really can't wait to leave back because I have my baby and she's in the car seat. And it can only go back so far away and so far back.
you need it. What kind of vehicle you in?
I'm in a gray Chevy Malibu. Take. I don't know.
You say
I don't know.
you're at the corner of East Josephine and Broadway?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of
She
car
ain't
is
trying
it?
too hard.
That Chevy Malibu, yes.
In the Valero?
Yes.
Okay, so there's no way you can lay him flat?
No, I don't know. I don't want to lay him on the ground. It's hot, so I don't.
Well,
I want.
if he's not breathing at all, you need to get him on the ground and do CPR.
Okay, I can lay him on the ground. I don't want him to get. Okay.
She said car seat.
I'm laying him on the ground right now.
Okay, get him on the ground and do CPR. You can get beside him and put your hand in the middle of his chest, and use your fingers, and you need to push hard 100 times a minute, okay?
Take it. Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how fast you wanna go. Do you wanna keep?
On his chest?
Yeah, on his chest.
I feel like Buddy don't got the right to cry.
On the top of the chest?
Correct.
Judge me, I don't give a fuck.
Between the two nipples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5,
doing that.
6. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, you wanna go down about 2 inches and let it go right back up.
Okay.
Okay,
1,
keep doing it.
2, 3, 4,
What kind of
5,
medical
6.
conditions does she have?
Huh?
Does she have any medical issues?
No, you don't have medical issues. He's just been having a tantrum for over a couple months now. And
She keeps saying he been having tantrums. She keep with the tantrum shit.
he threw a tantrum last night. I haven't got rest, and I was just tired, and I lay down on the bed, and I put.
He had a tantrum last night. I was tired. I laid him down for bed.
He threw a tantrum last night. I haven't got rest, and I was just tired, and I lay down on the bed.
I haven't got red. I was just tired. She sounded like she did something to that boy.
I put them to sleep in the room with me.
Okay.
And they're in the.
Are you still doing CPR?
Yes.
Okay, good. Keep doing it, okay?
And I took
Sit your bitch ass up in that chair, man.
after I had to go up, and he was responsible.
Okay. Okay, good. Keep doing it. Okay.
And they're in the.
Are you still doing CPR?
Yes.
Okay, good. Keep doing it, okay?
And I took an after I had to go up, and he was responsible.
Okay. Keep doing CPR, okay? You're doing the best that you can from, okay? Looks like we have. Is there an ambulance there?
Oh, now you crying too? Cause you just let him drift away?
Okay.
Is there an ambulance there, man?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Are they doing CPR for you?
I think it's on the ambulance.
Okay, all right. Here you go.
What's she tired from? She tired from pushing babies out.
Yeah, I'm looking for a quick.
Bitch ass punk.
Ben, would you agree with me that on the bottom of the photo to the left is baby's bed?
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 61 is a closer up of his bed.
Okay.
The bread were in conflict. Don't just give him the whole loaf. One, we may need to potentially be worried about choking if he's eating this whole loaf of bread too quickly.
But I'm going to object as it relates.
Whole loaf of bread. The text messages that the state showed you, they, if a child is eating a whole loaf of bread really quickly, you would agree with me that we would need to potentially be concerned with choking.
But I'm going to object as it relates to speculation.
Oh, you may answer.
We may need to potentially be worried about choking if he's eating this whole loaf of bread too quickly, correct?
Yes.
And so when Brandon says in the text message, give it to him one by one, that indicates don't just give him the whole loaf one by one, correct?
I'm going to object. It calls for speculation as to the defendant's intent.
That is the same.
Well, would you agree that by giving someone something one by one, you're limiting the, or you're the rapidness in which they can eat something, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're slowing it down a bit.
Yes.
All right. And on that text message, it states that he's already had one whole loaf, right?
According to Miranda, yes.
And you're also aware that there have been ongoing fights between them in which Brandon is saying just give him the bread, right?
Yes.
And Miranda's position was, it's not nutritious, right?
I'm going to object as it calls for speculation as to what Miranda was thinking.
Your Honor.
Speak for themselves. It's not, she's deriving from the text messages.
He has seen the Cellbrite evidence, and he can speak to conversations that he is aware of reviewing the records.
Are you asking us to Miranda's outright statement that's in evidence, or are you asking for this detective to interpret the statement?
She makes statements.
Okay, if it's an outright statement that's already in evidence, that can be answered.
And she's referring to other arguments, that's the premise of the question.
He has made a review of the entire Cellbrite file, and based off of the context of the nature of the relationship, it's not for the truth of the matter asserted, it's the nature of the argument in which they're having.
So I guess I'm confused as to what you're asking this detective to answer. What is your question?
My question is that Miranda's position was that she did not believe that the loaf was nutritious, that bread in and of itself is not nutritious.
And this is not a statement?
No, that's not her. What her problem was that the boy was getting his way. That was her problem. Right? And maybe he shouldn't have had the loaf of bread. But that was her issue with it.
From what I remember, not a statement made by Miranda, so you're asking him to interpret it. So I am going to sustain as to speculation.
In reviewing all of the evidence, though, did you come to become aware that their positions on the bread and the nutrition of the bread were in conflict?
Judge, I'm going to object to calls for hearsay. In reviewing the phone, the messages on the phone that are not in evidence.
Okay, then I misunderstood the question. Are you asking him about the messages that are in evidence?
No, just in general, like he's reviewed, in his investigation, he reviewed the data, and are they in conflict? Are their positions, I didn't ask what their positions were, I just asked, are their positions?
All right, they're bogging us down with bullshit. Is there any more evidence? More video. Here we go. What you got?
29 seconds in. Do you see that he's removed whatever's on his arms?
Yes.
Okay. The state asked you about the locks on 7/21/2021, and they said after the locks are put on, are they locked? And you said yes, correct?
Yes, and some of the videos, they are locked. You see Benji unlocking.
Okay. Well, to be clear, let me show you what's 28, and that's on July 15th, 2021. You would agree with me that on July 15th, there's no outside mechanism to lock,
right.
Correct? All right.
Now, taking a dump right there.
Do you notice how he's hungry?
He's going through it. Shorty got some kind of gut issue going on. I mean, of course he got a gut issue. Look at everything he ate right there.
Down here?
Yes.
Did your kids ever squat when they pooped in a diaper?
Sure.
Does he look like he's squatting to poop?
I'm going to check calls for speculation.
Let me ask this, I'll ask a different question.
If you can,
Did you hear him grunting?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And back here in the background, it's, again, July 15th, you see water bottles that are out in the open.
Yes.
You see dishes that have food around, it's not locked up, correct?
That's why she's tired, Deb. She didn't do the dishes. Neither did her husband.
There were food has been being prepared for the family. And then I'm gonna play for you 27, which is from 7/16, the next day. Again, would you agree with me there's no locks?
Yes.
Now, he picks up the bread in this one and he puts it back down, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's not so starving that he is gonna just eat whatever he can find, right? He's selecting what he wants to eat.
I'm going to check this. Part of that question is speculation as it relates to what is going on through Benji's mind.
That's sustained.
There's food here that he turns away.
Yes.
And then the one from 7/21, July 21st, 2021, and it's on video number 29. And now, for the first time, would you agree with me that we do see that some locks have been added, right?
Yes.
And They were present on 7/20/2021 when the officers came for the welfare check the night before.
Yes.
And when they came for the welfare check, these were not locked in those photos.
All right, stop
that I
with the
showed.
locked shit already. All right. Let me skim through this next one, see what we got there, and if we got nothing special, we get to the closing arguments. Let's see. Let's go day 6. That's an 8-hour day. We're gonna fast forward through this shit.
Fire. When do you think this happened?
My understanding is this photo, the timestamp on it, was from the day of his death, the day he presented at the hospital.
And did you review videos that were associated with this photo?
Yes.
Anything else in your review of the records that would lead you to believe that there was serious bodily injury due to dehydration in this case?
No, there was no indication in the postmortem lab values or described in his exam that would be consistent with dehydration.
Get out of the lab.
Okay. And then, so in regards to the proper medical care, now you'll see that one. And did you review all the medical records in this case?
Yes.
And in reviewing those, do you have an opinion as to whether or not?
I'd love to bog us down with all this medical talk, but I mean, shit, it's a whole trial. We did it in one day. You know what I mean? We get in there. It's not as clear cut as it was before. I still do not believe that they did not fail him and do him dirty. I feel like they did him dirty. He was also throwing up because the poor child was so hungry when he did eat. The amount he ate was too much for the size of his stomach due to the lack of nutrition. Anything, this lawyer didn't argue. I can't with him. Yeah, he didn't have too much to say. Who's this lady?
I'm not culinary trained, don't get me wrong. But just the science and how it applies to.
She's a nutritionalist. I'm not going to sit through the nutritionalist. All right, let's go to day 7. Day 7. All right, day 7. Is this the end? This might be the end. All right, this might be the end. Let's see. Testimony for some guy through a Zoom call. Let's see what else we got. Well, these are the closing arguments.
9. Now, if you believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about the 17th day of August 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Brandon CERVERA, either acting alone or together as a party with Miranda Cáceres, did intentionally or knowingly, by omission, cause serious bodily injury to Benjamin CERVERA, a child who is 14 years of age or younger, and Brandon CERVERA, either acting alone or together as a party with Miranda Cáceres, had assumed care, custody, or control of Benjamin CERVERA and failed to do so in that Brandon CERVERA, either acting alone or together as a party with Miranda Cáceres, failed to provide adequate nutrition for Benjamin CERVERA, failed to provide adequate hydration for Benjamin CERVERA, or failed to seek proper medical care for Benjamin CERVERA, or did intentionally or knowingly, by omission, cause serious bodily injury to Benjamin CERVERA, a child who is 14 years of age or younger, and Brandon CERVERA, either acting alone or together as a party with Miranda Cáceres, had a legal or statutory duty to act and failed to do so in that Brandon CERVERA, either acting alone or together as a party with Miranda Cáceres, failed to provide adequate nutrition for Benjamin CERVERA, failed to provide adequate hydration for Benjamin CERVERA, or failed to seek proper medical care for Benjamin CERVERA, then you will find the defendant, Brandon CERVERA, guilty of the offense of injury to a child as charged in the indictment. If you do not so believe, or if you have a reasonable doubt thereof, you will find the defendant, Brandon CERVERA, not guilty of the offense of injury to a child as charged in the indictment. 10. It is a defense to this prosecution that the actor,
So he threw his chick under the bus? Is this what happened? What's going on here?
through mistake, formed a
I
reason.
need to see that trial, man. I need to understand what they saw that gave her 25.
Belief about a matter of fact if his mistaken belief negated the kind of culpability required.
All right, lady, we get it. Get to the
doubt that the
shits.
defendant,
Let's get to the
Brandon
shits.
CERVERA, committed the acts as well outside of your
disciplinarian, or is more than a breadwinner. So, a father is more than a breadwinner. A father is more than a disciplinarian. A father is a protector. And that's not just the standards that we set in society, although it is. It's also a legal duty imposed by the state of Texas, right? To all fathers and to all persons who take care, custody, or control of a child, right? So, if the defendant had abided by that duty, we wouldn't be here today. But since we are, it's my job at this point in the proceedings to kind of recenter your focus on what it is that you, as the esteemed juror members who are deciding what the facts are in this case, what is really at issue that you have to decide. Because some of the things, of the entire universe of things that the state might have possibly had to prove before the case started, the universe of what we actually are in dispute about is very small, right? So I'm going to show you, this is paragraph A, right? These are all of the elements that the state has to prove. Most of these are not contested, right? August 17th of 2021, that's the date Benjamin died. We know that we're talking about that day and the year or 10 months preceding it, right? We're not unclear about what person we're talking about when we say the defendant, the father of the child, Brandon, right? Intentionally or knowingly is in dispute. I'll talk about that more, and Mr. Villarreal is going to talk about it more. I expect Ms. Sawyer will also. By omission. What we're saying by omission is we are establishing the distinction, right? When you have a duty to do something and you do nothing, that is an omission. So we are talking about not actions that were done, but failures to do actions, right? Caused serious bodily injury. Now, there is some dispute here. Obviously, Benjamin died. That would be included by serious bodily injury. But that is not the extent of what you are to consider. Because you are to consider all potential serious bodily injuries, including those suffered by Benjamin before his death, based on the failures to act by the defendant.
There you go.
So it's not just death, it's SBI, serious bodily injury, the impairment of any bodily organ. That could include things like failure to thrive, stunting. Who we're talking about is not an issue, right? Benjamin CERVERA, very clear who that is. Assume care, custody, control of Benjamin CERVERA, and by failing to do something, the three things, right? Adequate nutrition, adequate hydration, proper medical care, right? It has to be the failure to do one of those three things that causes a serious bodily injury. Compare it to paragraph 2. Really the only difference here, if we look, going back from A to B, it's just that now we go from care, custody, control to statutory duty to act. That is empowered, that is required because he is.
Statutory duty to act, all right? You didn't act, bro. Your son suffered. He suffered. Was she poisoning him? Shout out Jonathan. I say I miss bitch made J777 get unalived by Zoraida. She sniped him. It sounded like this. Oh, so hit him in the head. Headshot. He gone. He gone. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go.
Adios, pendejo.
He is the father. So the first is saying he, like anybody could, takes care, custody, control of the child. He is now responsible for its medical care, for the treatment, the food, the water, right? Compared to legal duty to act. When you are the father, you always have those duties, right? Okay. So what I want to focus on is the intent. And what I think you can conclude from looking at the evidence in this case, oh, I'm sorry, very important. You don't have to agree as to if it's intentional or knowing. You all just have to agree that it was one of the two. You don't have to agree on the injury, just that there was serious bodily injury. And you don't have to agree on which of the manner and means, by failing to provide hydration, by failing to provide medical care, by failing to provide food, nutrition. It is only if all of you find one of them, right? So you could find that you believe he intentionally withheld food and that caused the death. That's a guilty verdict. You could find knowingly withheld medical care caused SBI, not death. Also still guilty. The fact that the two of them are different injuries, different instances, and different causes, all that matters is that he had a duty to act. His failure to act caused the serious bodily injury or death by one of those three means, right? So if we're talking about the intent, I believe that the evidence in this case proves that it is an intentional deprivation of food, medical care, and hydration. Why do we know that? Look at the apartment. Everything that we know about the apartment.
Do you say unintentional or an intentional?
By one of those three means, right? So if we're talking about the intent, I believe that the evidence in this case proves that it is an intentional deprivation of food, medical.
So that's the angle they're going, that it was unintentional deprivation. They're not going the criminal act. Again, the burden of proof on him is to prove that dude didn't act when he should have. So he's just going for that. That's the best he could do. So instead of saying they were maliciously trying to, malnurture him, they say unintentionally, you unintentionally malnourished him. All we need you to do is convict him for not acting upon that unintentional, malnourishing.
Medical care and hydration. Why do we know that? Look at the apartment. Everything that we know about the apartment. The first thing that we know, right, is that cameras are installed to view the children and the kitchen. And these aren't security cameras we're talking about in the sense of there's not one outside watching the entryway to the home. There's not one pointing at the door, the only entry. There's none pointing at the windows to enter, right? Where are the cameras? The children's room, the kitchen. There's one in the living room. Where does it point? Down the hallway to the kids' room, right? Why are those cameras there? Why were they placed there?
Facts.
Is it not to monitor the children?
Facts.
Monitor the children because you think that there may be something wrong. Something that, for example, you might have wanted to consult a medical professional regarding. Well, these cameras are here at the beginning of June. It's not until CPS makes them take him to the hospital on the 21st of July that he's sent to the hospital after the cameras are installed. And what do we know about those cameras, about what is present in the home, right? Once the cameras are in place. Well, I don't know what the pictures are. Here's what we know about it. The beginning period in June, right? The cameras are in place. What is on the locks? What locks are present? There's that little plastic internal lock that's in the cabinet, right? There's a similar lock that's on the refrigerator. That right there is proof of intent to deprive food. Like, I am intentionally restricting the amount of access that he has, right? And I'll remind you, those two.
It wasn't me, y'all. Jonathan said he used an alternate account. Yeah, he used 2 alternate accounts. But here's what we're doing. His alternate accounts, they get clapped forever. You're not just going to be continuing to use alts in here. I'm straight. What happened, bro? This ain't me. This is them. Their audio went out too. During the closing arguments, what y'all doing?
Context form attached to this.
On the injury, just that there was serious bodily injury, you can also everything that we know on the 20th.
An error in this video? How strange.
Here's the camera refrigerator. I remind you, those.
Look, it clunks out and then this goes red. Look. Ah, so weird. We don't get the end of his argument.
They started. The universe of what we actually are in dispute about is very small.
Let me
right?
start this.
So I'm going to show you
redo this and see if that's
who are deciding what the facts are in this case. What is really at issue? That, for example, you might have wanted to consult a medical professional.
But it ain't got no audio, so we're going to let it roll from there. Nah, he's clapped for 24 hours, but he can't use those. His main account, the one with his stupid face on it, that one don't get clapped until I decide. Like, he don't get clapped for life until I decide, but the one, the alts that he comes in here crying with, they got to get the fuck out of here for life. They hit him from the channel, so no green light. He gone right now, so. It's egregious. Poor baby's life is being subjected to bodily harm charges when they should easily at least be manslaughter. I don't know what happened, but we didn't get the rest of his argument, unfortunately.
When a child dies. The tragedy was compounded here, though, by what was failed to be looked at. Because everybody was so eager to tar and feather and brand that they didn't go look. And so you, the 12 of you, are the first people that ever went to go back and look and listen to Benji when he was alive.
I feel like they cut something out of this stream. I don't know.
You were the ones, not Detective Size, not Dr. Molina, not even these prosecutors were focused on that. I made sure that you heard what he was saying. Because what we don't know when we don't go look affects the big picture. Now, I understand the state has these very sensational tidbits that they're giving to you, and they make for great sound bites and they make for great media stories. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bring Benji back, and it really doesn't help you get to the truth. Because in order to get to the truth, you have to go look for the truth. And this is what Brandon saw when he saw his family. This is what the media is not saying. This is what we need to be focused on. There was a happy family here, and by all indications, as you can see, it was a family unit. Now, are families perfect? No. Not a single one of us is perfect. We have all said or done stuff to others, or even to our own children, that it can be mistaken or taken out of context. That does not mean that we did not have or come from a good spot when we said it. When I think about this case, it, to me, is difficult because I can see the care and the love that is there. This is not the typical type of place that you're going to see when you see a place where people are abusive and negligent and don't care. I mean, there are matching beds for the boys. There are posters on the wall. There are matching shirts. This is someone who cares. And all the indicia of what we think of when someone cares is nesting. And you know, we're gonna talk about Miranda here in a little bit because it's hard for me to get a grasp on some of the things at the end. And so, as you're gonna become aware, and you've heard in the testimony, they had a new baby that was born in January of 2021. Then they moved in March of 2021. And she was nursing up all night. I don't know if she had postpartum. She didn't appear to be the type of monster.
They called it postpartum. All right.
That would do anything to Benji. So we need to take that into consideration, but that doesn't mean that mental health-wise, people can't reach a breaking point that would make them do something they wouldn't normally do. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, the state really wanted to talk.
Who, the lawyer? I don't doubt it. I think she has children.
A lot about the photo on the left. But I want to show you that what we tend to see when we look at all the pictures from April 4th, which is the photo they're focused on, to April 26th of 2021, to July 26th. This is the picture on July 26th. He's going to Little Buddies. This is what he looked like. Healthy appearance. We understand that you're going to see, and you did see, the bruising on his eyes. The reason I played that video for you on July 20th, 2021, is so that you could hear Benji, because he was being asked about every little thing on his body. And through his own words, he was able to tell you what happened. His dad was not sitting there. His dad was not telling him what to do. I disagree with what the state sees when they see that video. What I see when I see that video for the welfare check is that Brandon sits back and lets his children talk. He doesn't overspeak them. He doesn't interrupt them. When Officer Hale says, "Hey, what's that bruise?" It's on this side, on your hip. Benji's like, "Where?" And he's trying to find it. Brandon doesn't interrupt. Brandon doesn't say, well, tell him what you did to yourself there. No, he doesn't do anything. He stands back and he lets Benji talk. And then finally, the child immediately starts saying, after he figures out what they're looking at, he's like, "It's my diaper." And he says it like 8 times. They said they couldn't understand him. I understood him. I don't know, maybe I speak mommyese, but I understood.
All of a sudden, they got good audio at the end of the closing arguments and shit.
What he said. And he was saying diaper from the very beginning. And it was right where his diaper line was, and it made sense. So, nevertheless, the point is that when you also look at that video, you will see that Brandon is acting like a normal parent. If I was speaking to a police officer and my child was asking me to go do something else, and I knew that that police officer needed to speak with me or the child, I wouldn't be running off and distracting the child and going and doing other things.
But if I'm a police officer that's coming to check out a kid that got black eyes and bloody ears, and I'm there to make sure he's nourished, and the moment I walk in, I see him take his opportunity to walk away from all the hoopla, walk away from all the police in the house, go into the kitchen and grab a bottle of water or whatever it was and drink that, and drink it the way he drank it, and be looking to it was like he had his moment, man. That's what it felt like we saw. Again, maybe I'm dramatic. Another thing we didn't see is that they said that there was video of him drinking hand sanitizer. Did I miss that? I know we've been here going on 9 hours, but did I miss something?
At that point, Brandon was focused on making sure that the child was there and available to speak with the officers as well as to be cooperative. I think it's really important that we not take things out of context, because I believe that we would do the same thing if we were in Brandon's shoes. And the fact that he said, hold on, wait a minute, he didn't say no. He was like, just wait, not right now. He was waiting for that moment to pass. And telling a child no does not mean that you're depriving them of food. Here's the thing. We have, as parents, an obligation when we're working with our kids to try to teach them wrong from right and routines. And we know sometimes more than they do because they don't want to take naps. They don't want, maybe they want to eat something that's
we get the point. She's trying to paint the perfect family, the perfect happy home.
Sorry, kilograms. I apologize about that. You know, this case is a very scary case, because if you think about the precedent it sets, because if you are doing everything you're being asked to do and you're taking your child and you miss something, man.
I'm going to object to improper argument.
They were looking for child abuse. It wasn't as if the parent took the child in on their own volition and said, hey, he just has an ear problem. Can you just check the ear? That's not what happened. If this child was in danger and they even mildly suspected it, they had a duty to report and to take action. And they took action. They took action in saying, hey, instead of we're going to check you out. We don't find that there's been child abuse. We're not taking the children away. We're going to now refer you to Little Buddies or your pediatrician. Follow up with your pediatrician.
We don't know. Shout out Jonathan. How do we not know the kid wasn't traumatized or coerced? We don't know. And then somebody will say, oh, but he's only 4. He's not going to remember to tell that lie. Stop. All right? I'll show you a 4-year-old that'll choke the shit out of you in some jujitsu.
Follow up with an ENT, and then they said, look at behavioral specialist as well as a geneticist, none of which has to do with food. Then we go to Little Buddies. Here's what you haven't seen, because I didn't have anyone speak to this, but you can see that in Little Buddies on 7/26/2021, they are informing the pediatrician he was asking for bread and got mad because he didn't get more bread. Stepmom and dad were trying to give other options for food choices. He did not want anything other than an argument, but it really doesn't make a case. Miranda's saying a whole loaf of bread, and Brandon is saying, he says back, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not the most patient voice. I know that looking back, he's not proud of how he talked in this moment, but out of frustration.
How do you know? It's not audio, it's text.
Miranda's mad at him because he won't withhold the bread. He says, give him the whole loaf of bread. He eats the whole loaf of bread, and the pattern here is he eats a whole loaf of bread, he still cries for more bread. Right? So he's like, see you crying for more bread, bro. Cry for more bread, and I'm going to put your fucking ass in squats. Here's the thing. My husband works in construction field, and he comes home sometimes, and I have to remind him that we're not in the construction world. And we don't use that word as an adverb or adjective, verb, and noun, right? Like they do out there. So we can't take people out of their context. I'm not saying that you may not agree with that word that was used, but in the construction world, it's used and it's not even thought of twice.
Come on, lawyer, jump your ass up and be like, this ain't construction, bitch.
So again, you cannot be held criminally liable for anything when you use that word. It's not something the state of Texas says. If you say this word to your child, you are a criminal. but I understand the context that it's in. But let's look beyond that.
And I'm sorry, the reason I keep skipping, first of all, besides the fact that we've done a 9-hour stream, the reason I keep forward through our argument, because we've been hearing it the whole time. None of them are straying away from, well, actually, I heard the prosecutor, they took it an angle I didn't think they were going to take it. And she's had the same story. The same story is that there's an explanation for everything when it comes to her side. She does have kids. There you go. She has, and a third kid. He's a construction worker.
Also say, does he say, I'm going to beat your ass? Does he say, I'm going to do something to you physically? No. He's saying, I'm going to have you do squats. Now, he's a young boy. Dads are trying to raise their sons to be, have muscle. He's thinking that he is doing good while also reprimanding a child. So in putting it in context, you can understand that this is not some father that doesn't want to help his son. It's a father who sees the balance of, look, I'm frustrated with you, but I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to try to do something that, while it seems like a punishment to you to get you to change your behavior, it's actually going to help you in the long run. Okay, August 14th. The state has shown the photo on the right over and over, but what they don't do is connect the dots for you, because the rest of the photos on that date, he is sitting at the table eating, and you can see that he's drinking 2 bottles of water. I don't know what else happened that day. I don't have a video camera of that. I don't think that anyone at that point thought that this was going to be in a court of law 3 years later. But that is a fuller picture of what was going on August 14th. The morning that he passes, you cannot use that to then say someone else is responsible for an act that she did in that house to Benji that may have resulted in his passing. We do have some numbers. You can go look at those. The EMS was 300. The ER was 214 for the glucose level. The testimony stated that, at least according to the American Association of Diabetes, 200 is going to qualify you for diabetes. We had excessive thirst, excessive hunger, excessive urination, eating and still losing weight, vomiting, blurry vision. The blurry vision comes in when they're on 7/20/2021. Miranda is telling the officer that, and it doesn't catch most people's attention because nobody would think blurry vision at that stage would be associated with a medical condition. But she's identifying that on 7/20 that he's having a hard time seeing. Okay, causation. A person is criminally responsible if the result would not have occurred but for his conduct, operating either alone or concurrently with another cause, unless the concurrent cause was clearly sufficient to produce the result and the conduct of the actor clearly insufficient. All right, here's what this really comes down to, is that if Miranda's actions were sufficient in and of themselves to cause the event, then Brandon cannot be held responsible for that.
That is a misstatement of that law. It is a misstatement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the law was given to you and is given to you in the charge of the court. The statement by the attorneys is not the law of the case unless it is in harmony or agreement with the charge of the court.
I'm going to keep moving, but you get my point, that if Miranda is doing something to Benji in that house, it is not, you cannot use that the morning that he passes. You cannot use that to then say someone else is responsible for an act that she did in that house to Benji that may have resulted in his passing. Mistake of fact. Okay, here's the thing. If the parents mistakenly rely on the medical professionals after they've told them what their concerns are, and they do everything that they've been told, they're allowed to rely on that mistake of fact, right? Because the medical professionals, they were relying on what the medical professionals told them to do. Also, if he believed, if you find from the evidence that he believed that Miranda was feeding Benji.
Do you guys not feel like there's a big chunk missing without Miranda's trial? It just doesn't make sense to me at this point. Mind you, the prosecution didn't give enough evidence didn't push enough evidence to show that they were actually withholding things from him. They didn't beat that. And she defended it well, I guess. But I feel like a big chunk of what's missing is an old girl's trial, and I feel like this is the talk when I feel like that should be the talk.
Or providing water to Benji while he was in his care, and he was mistaken about that, then that does not go against him, right? Because he did have evidence that the child was being fed and provided water while in Miranda's care. Housekeeping, demonstrative evidence doesn't come in to go back with you. So that January 2019 date is on a demonstrative evidence on that chart. Jury unanimity, each of you has a voice. and you have a vote. And the reason we don't have one juror and we have 12 is because it's important that the collective body be able to discuss it, but at the end of the day, you have a right to your own individual vote, and you are asked by law to exercise your vote in line with your conscience and the charge of the court.
5 minutes.
If you're unable to decide, just understand that there's other jurors that would also be hearing, if we're unable to get to a unanimous vote, that while we would rather you have, we need you to vote your vote, but if it comes to that, we will retry the case. But those same the next jurors would have many of the same issues that you already have and are struggling with. So we do ask for you to take the time to really consider all of the issues. Passion, bias, and prejudice. I understand that child abuse cases can evoke a lot of passion and prejudice, but that doesn't mean it happened. That's why you're here to consider everything. And I'm gonna ask you, not just to make the argument for me, because the state's gonna get up and talk, but I'm asking you to make that argument for Benji. Because there's a lot of stuff that didn't get looked at, and that's his dad. And when you go look at that video from July 20th, you can tell that they love each other. This is not the type of situation in which Benji...
How can we tell? That's speculative, bitch. You've been screaming speculative all night. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Screaming speculative, but now she's like, if you look at that video, they clearly love each other. That's speculative. Shut your mouth. Objection, Your Honor. Deb said you would do whatever she wants just to shut her up. Facts. Deb, I'll tell you she's good. You're right. Jonathan, she's doing her job, proving his innocence, and now blaming it on the girlfriend. State lawyers getting killed. The whole system failed. I feel bad for her husband. I feel bad for your mother. That's a scene from Menace to Society that I need to drop for her so that I could play it for her right there. What you say about my mama?
And did not adore his dad, and his dad adored him. And I believe that you owe it to Benji to work as hard as you can to make the argument, because that's also someone that he loves. Precedent-setting case, take your child to multiple doctor visits.
That's it, she's done. Buddy's gonna finish it up. Let's go see the...
What does he tell you? Like everybody who's talked, except for really the defense experts in this case, that he looked very thin.
So he gets to go.
He's still breathing. He's not breathing. So we know at the time that when Benji is taken down, he's still alive, he's still breathing. Also, when we look at Miranda's 911 call, she mentions that other lady who stopped me. We know Julia's there. So, Officer Rosendo Hoyos, call him, he's the reporting officer, he saw Benji at the hospital. What does he tell you? Like everybody who's talked, except for really the defense experts in this case, that he looked very thin. Saw the bruising on his body. Then we brought you to Devin Acosta, who is the CSI in this case. Described the scene for you. Showed you those 5 locks in the kitchen. The locks and the gate in the children's bedroom. Described for you the video cameras in the kids' bedrooms and in the kitchen. And then the locked food, the food that was behind these locks was bountiful and plenty. And you have those photographs and evidence for you. You can see that all of these alleged choking hazards, apparently that these parents are trying to prevent him from getting to. What will you notice about where there's not locks? There's not locks where the knives are kept. Where do we keep chemicals in our house? Underneath the kitchen. Do those have locks on them? No. It's only the food that's locked up in this house. And when you listen to that body-worn camera statement later, you will hear from the defendant's own mouth and Miranda's own mouth, why did we put those locks on? Because he was getting up in the night and eating. Not because we were worried about him choking in the middle of the night. He was getting up in the middle of the night and eating. That's why those locks are put there. So you see this one. This is the first lock that we see in those original surveillance videos back from 6/8 of 21. This was the original lock that was on this pantry. And soon you can see through the videos that apparently the defendant figured out he could open this lock. Right? He was able to get in there and get some food. They're not going to have that. What are they going to do at that point? Then they add the exterior lock to this, to the upper cabinet, and to the fridge. I'm sorry, the fridge was already there. They changed the one on the fridge because apparently they knew he could get into the fridge. So that's what we see in this photo as well. We see that these locks on the upper pantry, the lower pantry, more specifically the upper lock, the lower lock. We see also in this one where there's a lock. Where do we not have locks in here? We don't have locks in the bathroom that's in the hallway, the kids' bathroom. where there's medication, they're not worried about that. They're worried about him getting food. So we've looked and we saw the cameras. Why would you place a camera in the kitchen? If you're sleeping at night, it's to catch Benji going into the kitchen and getting food. It's a reasonable inference. Then we see the ones in the bedroom. Where is it angled at? It's angled facing the door, right? The door where Benji is getting out on multiple nights in order for him to get some food. Then we saw the two locks on these doors, and Mr. D'Amico already mentioned this. You see in one of those videos,
Sorry. Fuck. Did y'all hear me when I said he needs to wipe that stupid fucking smile off his face? He needs to wipe that stupid fucking smile off his face. Don't nobody want to see you sitting there smirking at the jury and shit. My bad. I sneezed and I stopped it. I don't even remember how long ago that was. It be like that. But no, don't nobody want to see no smirk. I'm back. Salutes. Salute snooker season. This is crazy, man. Yeah, he dropped the ball, but look, he got this stupid smirk on his face. Like, bro, nobody wants you. They don't want to see you smirking, bro. Put on a straight face. No.
the surveillance videos, Benji, he's moving the desk. And he's moving it where? Towards the door, where the gate is, so he can pop over the gate. Well, they weren't going to have that. You have those photos and evidence where that desk is in there. It's locked. Why? To prevent Benji from getting out yet again. This defendant has placed barrier upon barrier upon barrier from Benji getting what is the most essential.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the days where they give him a plate with 2 hot dogs in his room, or where them videos at? You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of that shit.
Part of our life, food and water. I mean, just let's think about ourselves when we miss our lunch, how that feeling is. Imagine living in that constant state. That's what Benji's life is like.
So why are you smirking?
We see the gate at the door. We see originally that gate wasn't there, but eventually it does. It gets added there, that additional barrier for this 4-year-old, almost 5-year-old, from getting out and getting food. So we brought to you then Detective Alfred Gonzalez. He's our cell right expert. He authenticated the videos that came from the cell phone, which are State's Exhibits number 75, 78, 79, 80D, and 223. You'll have all of those in evidence if you want to look at them. It has. He's not getting enough to sustain his life. He's not getting evidence, and you can look at them if you desire, and look at what ultimately his testimony is. So then we have Dr. Molina, who is the Chief Medical Examiner of the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. Talk to you about Benji's cause of death with starvation. His manner of death is homicide. What is starvation? Is not receiving adequate nutrition. And that starvation is not always the complete removal of food or water. The defense wants to talk about, look, there's photos and videos of him eating. We know.
She probably took her postpartum depression out on him and shit. Shout out Jonathan, said, what kind of parents lock their children out of food? State better watch them other kids. Who knows where them kids are at? State probably got them other kids.
He's eating. It's the adequacy, the enough. He's not getting enough to sustain his life. He's not getting enough, what's important in children, to grow. In fact, he's not growing. His body, by weight, is getting smaller and smaller and smaller when it should be getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
See, that's the part I don't understand. And again, we didn't listen to the medical mumble jumble, but I probably wouldn't understand that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that's the part I don't understand. You're claiming that this boy is eating bountifully. We're watching him eat at night. Is he starving the rest of the day? Because the boy is losing weight. Nobody has a medical answer for this. We know that there's a trauma. We know that there's a problem. Shorty's hitting himself. All right? Are they hitting him too? What's happening? We don't have a clear picture of nothing. I still don't have a clear picture. We've been here fucking, 9 hours.
Tells you that if Benji would have received proper medical care prior to his death, he might not have died. Talk to you about what serious bodily injury is. In this case,
agree. they should have walked out with him the month earlier, but if he would have seen the doctor the day before or something, somebody needed to make a move.
It's the death, it can be, but it can also be that weight loss prior to death. That injury, that bodily injury that creates a substantial risk of death, right? So leading up to his death, even that is serious bodily injury. It tells you about what the autopsy process is. It's not just opening it up, looking at his body, externally and internally. It's that death investigation that comes along with it. And what she reviewed all of Benji's medical records, went through, made sure, subpoenaed the health insurance company, make sure we have all of the claims, make sure we can know where he went, where he was doing, what he looked like, what he weighed, because we don't want to leave any stone unturned. We want to make sure we understand what is this kid going through. So talked about the cause and manner, what supports your evidence. The precipitous weight loss. You can see in State's Exhibit number 111, which is the graph, that last bit of his life, month and a half, that's really quick decline in his weight. Talks about his BMI, which according to the CDC, which again is based on for milk and for water. When you look at State's Exhibit number 80B,
I know families who lock up the snacks like crap snacks and ice cream and stuff, obviously can get water and other stuff anytime. From when the police arrived, I don't know if you saw what we were watching earlier, but when the police arrived there and that boy went and grabbed whatever that drink was off the counter, he drank that shit like that was the last shit on the planet. But he was, he was afrentado, but why? You know what I'm saying? Was it because he didn't eat the rest of the day? We're not getting that evidence. You're telling me that this kid poked his eyes out. I'm seeing video of him before and after he got black eyes in the kitchen. Where were those cameras when y'all pulled him out that closet? Like, I'm not understanding a lot of shit here. But I think I need to watch the wife's trial or the stepmother's trial.
which the defense already went through you. What is he asking for that night? He was crying for water. The defendant knew he was crying for water. That's what that shows you. It shows you that he knew what was happening with Benji. Because he heard it that night, and it's referenced in their argument the night before Benji dies. Shows that some of these videos that Benji is isolated. Not just some of the videos is he alone, but look at the conditions in which they live. Leo and Brandon Sr., they have real beds. What does Benji have? He has a dirty mattress on the floor. This kid is treated differently than the other kids.
That I agree with. The bed part, yes, we have a reason. Is it an excuse? Probably not, right? Shout out Albert Flores. Albert Flores asked for a reason. I gave him a reason, but him being a father, he probably thinking, well, yeah, bitch, he'd have had a new bed the next day. And I agree. You know? And I believe she treated him differently. And I believe he needed different treatment. You know? Shorty needed different treatment. But not that kind. Not the kind he got. He needed help, support.
So we see Benji trying to get out for food. He's climbing the fences. He's moving objects to get over. This is a smart kid. He knows what he has to do. He knows that he has to wait until his parents fall asleep at night in order to sneak out and get food.
Yeah, he wasn't no dummy, man. He was smart. He was even, he was in there, man. It was a little kid moving. He was jumping shit, moving shit, whatever he needed to do.
That he needs. What do we also see? We see in one of those videos Brandon taking Benji back into the bedroom, probably because he snuck out and he was trying to get some food, puts him in there. What does he say? Shut the fuck up. Why? It's probably because Benji's been crying that night for food and water.
Bro, he got the wrong face for this. He's just smiling and telling this story the whole time. You got the wrong face, Bo Rock. You should have stood home with that shit.
But what's his response? Again, like many things we've seen, cry for more bread, bro, and put your fucking ass in squats. Or what? Shut the fuck up.
Real talk. And guess what? Neither one of them times did I see that kid lash back. At those moments, I wasn't seeing the crazy kid that they was talking about, mean, bad kid, when they was cussing his ass out. They're making it seem like he has Munchausen. Remind me of what Munchausen is. Where it's like not real. But something physically happened to him, though.
And we have the phone videos. So we see Benji have consequences for asking for food, and this is 4 days prior to his death. The other video, which is 3 days prior to his death, what do we see? We see Benji shaking, right? Dad, can I have some bread? So if he's having trouble gaining weight, why is the defendant punishing him for asking for food?
Your Honor, objection. That is not evidence anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will remember the evidence from the testimony of the witnesses as you heard it during the course of the trial. What the attorneys say is not evidence.
So why is the defendant punishing him for asking for food? That's clearly, benching has consequences. That is the ask for bread again, or put your fucking ass in squats. If they're going to say that, well, he's having trouble gaining weight, why are you putting locks in the kitchen? Why are the punishments for asking for food?
And Weiser said that porn stash doesn't help. Salutes. That boy, it's 1983 on his face.
Proves that the defendant's knowledge of Benji's condition and the lack of his food and nutrition. We know that the night before his death, Benji was crying and asking for water. And then the night before, the defendant tells Miranda to just put Benji in the room and walk away.
Look, he's hearing this stuff about his son suffering, nothing. He hears the voice of old girl, he cries. That says a whole lot to me. But who am I, right?
So we see these text messages, and they're a little bit hard to read, but you have them in evidence for you. But what do we, and defense went through for a little bit. What does he say? Just give him a piece by piece. He don't need to eat dinner. Just give him the bread, and we won't give him anything else. If you're really concerned about him eating bread, and that's all he's eating, and that he might be choking on bread, then why wouldn't you let him have dinner? It makes no sense. He knows what he's doing. He knows the consequences of his actions. So the defense strategy to me, in part, seems like this. It's the Wizard of Oz theory. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Don't look at what's clear evidence in this case. You got to ignore it. We got to spin it some weird way. We see these two pictures. These are 4 months apart. 4 months apart. And they want to have experts take the stand. And to me, they lose credibility when you can't say, this kid looks different, right? There's something wrong with him. Clearly there is something wrong with him. He is losing weight. You can just look at his face. You can look at his legs. It's clear. It doesn't take an expert to tell you that. We see this video from the night of his death, where he's crying and he's begging. In this video, you have it in evidence.
And objection, Your Honor, the statement of when it was from, it's not the night.
This is from the day that he died, where you see on 8/17/21, where he's asking for bread in the car. And what did she tell you? He's filming it to send it to Brandon. We have this video. Remember, he's eating bread, and in this one, what do you hear him say? Cry for more bread, bro, and I'm gonna put your fucking ass in squats. Oh, he's doing that for his own benefit. What benefit? This kid is losing weight. Then we see this one, where Benji's shaking. And I can't imagine what's going on in his head, because the day before, what happens? When he cries for bread, this defendant tells him he's gonna put his ass in fucking squats. So imagine the courage this trial has to have to ask for bread again the next day. So what are the defensive theories? Benji didn't die from starvation. Basically, he's not malnourished enough. He doesn't look skinny enough. Apparently, these experts can look at a kid and tell him that he died from starvation. So they don't even apparently need to even review the medical records. They can just look at a kid. That Benji died from type 1 diabetes. And the defendant took Benji to a doctor, and they didn't say anything about his weight. So I want to talk about these a little bit more, and then the Benji had behavioral issues. So Benji did appear starved. What do we know from the evidence that kids with Benji's same BMI Z-score have starved to death? We know that from Dr. Lucifer. We know that from Dr. Christensen. Dr. Christensen, I'm going to go to him a little bit later. But even in his own evidence, there have been kids with higher BMIs, higher degrees of the criteria of malnourishment, according to the test that he likes to use, that have died from starvation. There's no lethal limit as it relates to starvation. That there's kids with Benji's same or higher Z-scores, BMI, that have died from starvation. And again, why, according to them, apparently you don't need to do an autopsy in order to say it's a kid is starved to death. You can just look at them. To me, it insults your intelligence as jurors. Your individuals, you can look at photographs and you can see that this kid is wasting away. Again, looking at these photos, it's clear he's wasting away. Type 1 diabetes. Benji did not have type 1 diabetes. Even the defense own expert who told you, Dr. Gephardt, didn't have type 1 diabetes. We don't see any of the islet dropout in the pancreas that would be associated with type 1 diabetes. No ketoacidosis, there's no acetone in the blood. The symptoms that they want to say are type 1 diabetes, eating, and thirst, guess what they are? They're also symptoms of his starvation. Medical professionals missed the starvation. So, let me pause this one, go back to this. Talk about behavioral issues. And, so what? Kids with behavioral issues, they don't deserve to be starved to death. Depriving them of food and water is not appropriate discipline. And depriving them of food and water doesn't solve those behavioral problems.
This guy doesn't tell a good story. You know what I'm saying? He's not, yeah, they beat him to death on this. Depending on the diagnosis, but the one they seem to pin on the kid is Munchausen syndrome, is a mental disorder in which the patient fakes illness to gain attention and sympathy. Shorty didn't do that.
I don't know why it keeps being brought up, the behavioral problems, but it's not relevant in this case. And these are the behavioral problems, I guess, that we're talking about. What do we see? Benji, the good big brother, bringing Leo is something to drink that night. And again, this is a period of time where he's already losing weight. This terrible kid's treating his brother like a brother. 7, starvation, signs of starvation. Go through all of these. And what do we have in common? His precipitous weight loss, his BMI, lack of suffocating fat, translucent mesentery, all of these things. No defendant's witness can explain why it's not starvation. They just want to say, well, maybe it's something else, right? They just want to put hopefully you'll latch on to maybe a little bit of doubt. But none of it is consistent with the evidence. So we'll talk about Dr. Christian and his credibility. You got to check, he's got an opinion for you.
Damn, boy, he to the doctor. If you got a check, he got the opinion for you, boy. He threw the book at his ass.
$600 an hour. My God. At this point, he has billed over $18,000 for his testimony. That was so far. That didn't even include his testimony, his flight here, anything like that. What do we know? While he was an ME, he's double dipping. He's also double dipping.
All this smirking and smiling, gotcha attitude. You lost the jury with that shit, I think. Your stupid face. You should have let Big Boy argue this shit or put the button on it.
While his lab is unaccredited. Because he's doing consultation work on the side. This guy's about the money.
I don't care.
Even dying or water low with a normal. Now, and the genetic testing that they want to do, it doesn't show you anything other than he's predisposed. It doesn't show that he had one, that he died from one, he ever suffered from one. Talk about Gephardt just for a second. He's done 0 autopsies, so him and I have done the exact amount of autopsies. Him and every single one of you have completed the exact amount of autopsies. He's had 0 kids in his care that have died from starvation. He has 0 experience in lethal starvation. He's expected to be paid from $7,000 to $8,000 for his testimony here today. He acts like he's wanted doing it out of his goodwill, but there's a check behind it. His theory about weight loss.
I don't care.
So if Dr.
Give me a final statement. Final statement.
McKinney, I'm just going to leave it at this. Bless her heart. Okay? She wants to come here and diagnose somebody with type 1 diabetes, but she don't know what labs mean. She doesn't know what anything means. Miranda was body on that day. You can see in between his ribs.
So he went out. The end of his closing statement is all of these experts are bullshit.
Up until his death, it failed Benji. This case is important for Benji. It's important that we do our job as it relates to Benji. The system, up until his death, it failed Benji. I can't put it in any other way. A month before his death, this child should not have stayed with this defendant who was starving him. The signs were there. You can see his body on that day. You can see in between his ribs. You can see the signs that this kid is begging for food, and he didn't take it away. The system failed him. But that is why we have our criminal justice system. It is to vindicate his death and hold this person accountable for harming this precious 4-year-old.
5 minutes.
At the end of this case, there is only one true verdict. That verdict is to find the defendant guilty. And that is because what he did, his actions, he is responsible for this child wasting away. He is responsible. He is the parent. He should have protected this child. He should have fed this child. He should have given him what he needed. But what does he do instead? He only has consequences for what Benji needs to survive. At the end of this case, we're going to ask that you find the defendant guilty. It is the only true verdict according to the law and evidence in this case. Thank you.
Verdict watch. Look like they deliberated.
Put you in the deputy. You have the charge of the court with you.
It's like they deliberated for 5 hours here. And then let's see if we get this verdict. The unfortunate verdict. Is this it? What about child services and everyone else who was in contact with the baby in his last days? Nobody has to be accountable for shit. That would be too much like right, my friend. Nope. This is everybody could just drop the ball in this country.
The state of Texas, and I do accept your verdict. Mr. Cervera, if you could please rise. In 2022 CR 4915A, the state of Texas versus Brandon Cervera, verdict form. We, the jury, find the defendant, Brandon Cervera, not guilty of the offense of injury to a child as charged in the indictment, signed by the presiding juror. Mr. Cervera, you may have a seat. Are there any requests from either side?
You just ask the jury.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go through a process called polling the jury. I am going to assign you a number, starting with the gentleman in the back and moving and ending with the core person of the jury. When I get to you and call your number, the question I am going to ask you is this your verdict? Juror number 1, sir, is this your verdict? Juror number 2, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 3, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 4, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 5, sir, is this your verdict? Juror number 6, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 7, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 8, sir, is this your verdict? Juror number 9, ma'am, is this your verdict? Juror number 10, sir, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 11, sir, is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
And juror number 12, ma'am, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Anything further from either side?
Nothing for the state.
Nothing for defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this week and a half has...
I think you're a coward. I think you're a bitch. I think you failed that child. I don't think this case made it clear how and why. I plan on trying to figure out as much as I can about the other, the stepmother's case. But, you know, to me, the decision was wrong and fuck you. That's all I got, man. Rest in peace, Benji.
Giving you some insight on what we do on a daily basis in these courtrooms. These are very important matters that we decide, but they cannot be decided without the help of the community and without your service. On behalf of both parties, I extend my thanks and for your efforts and your energy today and during the course of the week and a half. You are now released from your instructions. You may speak with anyone you wish to about your time and the trial. You do not have to speak to anyone you do not want to. That is completely your decision. But if you wish to speak to anyone about it, you may do so now. I'm going to go ahead and let you go back with the deputy to collect your things. Thank you very much for your time and your service.
All right, for the jury.
You're not a man. You didn't take care of that child. You failed that child. I hope that's not a picture of him in your hand. You should paper cut yourself to death. All right, man. Real quick, moment of silence for young Benji. That ain't it. This is. Rest in peace, young man. You, sir, you got away with it in the face of the courts, but I'm not sold. Something happened. I don't have a clear picture of it. I need to see that other trial, you know? I couldn't find any video on that other trial, you know, clips and stuff, but, you know. I appreciate y'all for taking this journey with me. We went over 9 hours. When I feel compelled to look into a story like that, I'm going to do it. Whether it's 5 of us or 5,000 of us in here. Whether the mamarichos show up or they don't. Whether they end up in the bathroom or not. You know. This one I just wanted to get through it in one shot. Didn't want to, you know, make it another day. Pulled the overtime shift. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Salutes to y'all. If there's anybody in here who has yet to hit the like button, please do. But salutes Old Soul. Salutes Debs, Oraida. Salutes JP. Chucky Chingon, Albert Flores, Young Jizzle, Big June, everybody that came through tonight. Pab, salutes. Let's see. Boom. All right. We did what did we do? A 6 hour the first time and a 3 hour and 15-minute one this time. Salutes. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all. Saw a lot of people come in and out. Salutes. And I'll catch up with y'all on the rest of the weekend. Got a whole bunch of edited videos ready to go. I got a couple thumbnails to do, and those things will start dropping. The weekends are kind of slow, so I don't know that I want to, I don't know that I want to put them out on the weekend. I want to get a good start on Monday. Just trying to catch this algorithm, man. See what happens. Shout out Deb. Raven Jefferson said, F the beds. What about food? It's food time. Salutes. Yeah, F the beds. What about food? Salutes. You probably a little bit behind on the playback. Again, I don't know, Raven, if you came earlier. There's another whole 4 or 5 hours of this story in part 1. Salutes, Jonathan. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. And with that said, we're going to get out of here. I'm going to, let me lower this real quick. Boom, lower that. Everybody have a good night. Have a great weekend. And salutes to y'all, man. I will holler. All right, rest in peace, Benji. Peace.
Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale, a fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep parts. You a savage, you can have it, just show how your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I'll survive, find this land's for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, straight bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers would shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving.